Coliseum. The Tide, a winner over the Bulldogs in Starkville back on January 29th. And here on the 25th of February, Bama will try to go for the season sweep, the regular season sweep anyway, as they got one of those against Kentucky just a few days ago. We look now at the keys to victory on the defensive end of the floor, presented by Ford. With impressive power and smart features, great things can happen when you drive a Ford F-150. Bring home a champion today. See your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Alabama Crimson Tide. DP, what are we looking at defensively for Alabama to get out of here with another victory against the Dogs?
Need to stop that little fella, Josh Hubbard. They list him at 5'11". I'm not sure that's accurate, but man, can he play. Had 38 points, a career high in the first matchup in Starkville. Alabama had no answers for him. He almost single-handedly won that game. You know that'll be the focus of this Alabama defense, but Mississippi State, far from a one-man show on the offensive end. They've got guys that can play, and this team plays a little faster than some of Chris Jan's past teams. They will get out and run in transition, especially after turnovers. And we talked about one of the keys is taking care of the ball. But if you turn it over, even after a missed shot, Alabama's got to do a good job not allowing easy baskets for the Bulldogs. They run, and Josh Hubbard's so good going against a defense that's not set.
I got to tell you, I'm really excited about the fact that Alabama's Grant Nelson was listed as probable. First of all, out means he's not going to play. But when they post that with the league office, probable means obviously it is probable he will play. I tell you that, the elementary explanation, because Mark Sears was probable for our last ball game, and Mark probably had one of the best games in an Alabama uniform, going for 35. He was named the SEC Player of the Week for the fourth time in his career.
Yeah, in the last two games, Mark Sears has had 65 points, 35 points, and 5 assists against Missouri, 30 points against Kentucky. And the thing that I like about it is he was getting after it on the defensive end, and got Cliff Amore doing, I think, a better job on the defensive end. He's getting more minutes. He's getting more comfortable on both ends of the floor, and looks like Nate Oates is giving him more minutes because of the production that he's given you on both ends. And then Mark Sears is playing much better defense. And Nate Oates said he's playing the best basketball of his career, and that's saying a lot because he's had one of the most storied careers in Alabama basketball history. Right now, he's playing it as well as anybody in the college game and playing like a potential first-team All-American. Hopefully that continues, and he's doing it on both ends of the floor, and that's what it's going to take to win tonight and for Alabama to finish strong in the regular season.
Crimson Tide and the Bulldogs of Mississippi State again. It's always, we always talk about the physical nature of it, but I think you and I left last year a little surprised, Bryan, that given the pace of play that both teams like to play, you still had the same physicality. It was a little bizarre in the old days, if you will, 15, 20 years ago, when you had bigs like Erwin Dudley, Mario Austin, the guys you expect to slug it out in the post, a little bit slower pace. Not that it was a snail's pace, but it was a little bit slower, and you relied on your bigs, and you get that it's going to be physical. Well, heck, now you do have bigs, but they're greyhounds running up and down the floor, and yet it is still a game where you better be ready to get beat on everywhere because the physicality is awfully high.
Fast, physical talent on the floor, on both ends of the floor. Listen, this is going to be Chris Jan's third straight NCAA tournament. That's not something that is done often in Starkville. I think the last time they went to 3 straight NCAA tournaments was in the early 2000s. So this is a Mississippi State team, program that is on the upswing. And yes, we know about the physicality and how hard they play. And guys, like Cam Matthews and Josh Hubbard. But, man, they've got guys that can shoot. You look at a player like Riley Kugel. He was at Florida a couple of years ago. He was a dark horse pick for SEC Player of the Year going into his sophomore year, all freshman in his first year in Gainesville. Didn't have a great sophomore year, but was picked in the preseason to be first team all SEC. And he's been a great role player that's capable of a huge game and has had some big games for Mississippi State this year. This is a talented roster that's got all SEC talent all over it. Very much a team that's capable of going on the road and beating a top 10 team. They've already gone on the road and beating their rival in Ole Miss. We know how good Ole Miss is. They came in here and beat Alabama. So this is a dangerous and good and tough Mississippi State team.
I loved hearing you reference the early 2000s and that stretch that Mississippi State has. It doesn't make me smile thinking about them being good. It makes me think of the Cold War, the two that called it that quite often. The guys who were in the middle of it, Mark Gottfried and Rick Stansberry, talking about that time. And, man, it was icy indeed.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad to find out now they're friends. You know, I love the hate back then. You could feel it. It was such a part of this rivalry. And listen, you know, Nate Oates and Chris Jans, they like each other. They've known each other for a long time back when Chris Jans was a junior college coach and Nate Oates was an assistant at Buffalo. So they knew each other and they have a lot of respect for each other. So it's not the icy relationship that Gottfried and Stansberry had back in the early 2000s. But the level of play is every bit as good and I think better on for sure on one side, and even Mississippi State. I think their consistency and talent is at least what it was and going in the right direction. They've consistently been in the top 25 this year, and they have got a tough team. Alabama can't look ahead. We talked about what's ahead in the schedule. It'll be the toughest three-game stretch to end a season in SEC basketball history, and probably in college basketball history, where you got to go on the road and play number 5 in Tennessee. You got number 2 Florida coming to Tuscaloosa on Wednesday night, and then just, you know, an easy one to finish the regular season on the road at number 1 Auburn. So you look at what's ahead, and it's an incredible stretch for Alabama. These guys are excited about that, but you can't overlook a top 25 team in Mississippi State that is beating some great teams this year. Alabama's got to be dialed in and ready to play here tonight.
Do indeed, as Alabama and Mississippi State get set to square off here at Coleman Coliseum. When we come back, the starting lineups and the tip on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This has been the Ford Pregame Show. Ford, visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. Crimson Tide Basketball is also brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Get ready. Alabama Crimson Tide Basketball is next on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you sick of pretending to like boring hard seltzers that leave you feeling bloated? Tired of drinking the same old light beer? No time to make a mixed drink with all those complicated ingredients? Then it's time for you to try something different. Beatbox is now an official sponsor of Alabama and the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Packing an 11.1 APV punch, each Beatbox is bursting with delicious flavors. Beatbox is gluten-free, low sugar, and resealable, so you can always take the party on the go. There ain't no party like a Beatbox party. Roll Tide. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21.
Sports bring us together. The sickness can keep us apart. Don't miss out on what matters most. Vaccines help keep you in the stands while we are on the court. Staying up to date on your vaccines, including for respiratory viruses, keeps you in the game, protecting yourself and those around you. Be here, be healthy. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/INM for more information.
I'm Coach Nate Oates, and this is the Ford F-150 Highlight Show. To stay on top, you got to keep raising your game, just like the 2024 Ford F-150, the smartest, most connected F-150 ever. Ford offers impressive technology to help you get the job done in the smartest way possible. For the latest offers on a Ford F-150, go to buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsors of the Crimson Tide. Roll Tide.
Hey, Bama fans. Tuscaloosa Drug Company is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Athletics. We've been serving our community and the University Athletic Department for over a decade. There are 3 locations in the Tuscaloosa and Northport area to serve you. We understand the importance of prompt and efficient service. That's why we strive to provide service that you can rely on, where we know you by name. The next time you have a medication need, call who the Tide calls, Tuscaloosa Drug.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted Best Wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the University Student Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryan Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
Here we go. It's time for Alabama Crimson Tide basketball on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
To the trailer. 3. Bottom. Tie game. 75 all. He'll rise. He'll fire. He'll make the 3. The bank first 3.
Crimson Tide basketball is brought to you by Barkley Buick GMC, where Barkley makes it easy. Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant, and a proud partner of the Crimson Tide. Auto Owners Insurance. Visit rolltide.com/auto owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent. Chick-fil-A. Download the Chick-fil-A app and win big this season. Conecuh Sausage, made fresh in Evergreen, Alabama since 1947, and now the official smoked sausage of the Crimson Tide. Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's to score superior protection from pests and termites. Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. And by the Soup Store, the best place in town to get all your Alabama gear. Now, turn it up. It's game time. Here's the voice of the Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart.
Before we start rolling from Tuscaloosa, why don't we pause 10 seconds so our local stations can identify themselves to you. Welcome to the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Along with Brian Passink, Tom Stipe, studio engineer Daniel Anderson, and soon to be joined by our Cook's Pest Control bench reporter Roger Hoover as soon as he finishes up the marathon of a baseball game over at Sewell Thomas Stadium. I'm Chris Stewart. So glad you're with us. The Crimson Tide of Alabama, the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. It's an annual clash, and as tough as the game is, it's one I think all of us on both sides are glad that has weathered the storm of realignment, additions, changes to the SEC slate. Even though we lost them in football, glad we are still playing the Dogs twice a year, at least for now, in men's basketball. Right now, we're going to turn it over to the public address announcer here at Coleman Coliseum. He's the man behind the mic that you hear when you come to Bama football and basketball games and gymnastics as well. Here's Tony Giles. That's not Tony, but eventually you'll hear Tony.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please stand with hats off and hands over hearts for our national anthem. performed by country recording artist Jackson Chase.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright star through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
First, our visitors from Starkville, Mississippi, the Bulldogs of Mississippi State University. At guard, a 6'5" junior from Orlando, Florida. Number 2, Riley Kugel. At guard, a 5'10" freshman from Madison, Mississippi. Number 12, Josh Hubbard. At forward, a 6'7" senior from Olive Branch, Mississippi. Number 4, Cameron Matthews. At forward, a 6'7" senior from Arecibo, Puerto Rico, number 22, R.J. Melendez. And at center, a 6'10" sophomore from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, number 23, Michael Nwoko. Mississippi State's assistant coaches are George Brooks, David Anwar, Patrice Day, Scott Padgett, and Dylan Elder. And the Bulldogs head coach is Chris James. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Alabama basketball.
And this is a very important game, Bryan, Passink, for both of these squads. Mississippi State trying to improve their seeding, not only in the SEC, but in the NCAA tournament as well. The Crimson Tide of Alabama trying to get back in the minds of some, stay in the minds of others as a 1 seed, but also trying to give themselves a chance in these final 2 weeks at winning a share, or no less than that, of the SEC title.
Yeah, as good as this league is, you absolutely never know, even though you're going to need some help to win an SEC regular season title. Not out of the question with as many hard games for so many teams that are left. Alabama has the most difficult remaining schedule in college basketball to compete for an SEC regular season title and potentially get a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. You have to win this one tonight. You got to win some more, obviously, but it starts tonight against a really good Mississippi State team. And Alabama was fortunate to get the first one in Starkville. Josh Hubbard, a career night, 38 points. He was so good in that one. Alabama's got to do a great job defensively against their all-SEC guard. Hopefully Chris Youngblood could put together a similar performance. 7 for 10 from the three-point line. He ended up with 23 points. His best game at that time to date in an Alabama uniform. He's been really good ever since. Alabama needs to do the job defensively and take care of the ball against Mississippi State, #2 in the SEC in steals. And the last 3 games, Alabama has had rough starts, down double digits in each of the last 3. Got to start off strong here tonight.
Start off strong and finish strong. Bama baseball did both. They got 16 in the first 2 innings. They wind up winning 20-11 over Jacksonville State. It's Bama versus Mississippi State on the hardwood as the tap is controlled by no one. It's batted out of bounds, touched last by Nwoko for Mississippi State. The Dogs wearing black uniforms tonight with a white lettering. Bama the home white with crimson, as the ball will be inbounded side court by the Crimson Tide. 2 seconds have ticked off the clock. You hadn't missed anything so far if you're just joining us. Into the corner, Bama will work it to Amore. Clifford looking out high to the big man. They'll work it into the left corner. Sears, 3, too strong. Amore fighting for a loose ball. We got a tie-up, and the arrow will favor Mississippi State, but good to see Cliff come in and really force the tie-up, because that looked like it was going to be a State rebound right from the very beginning.
Yeah, Alabama got a great look from one of the best shooters in the SEC. Mark Sears in the corner all alone, a little strong with it.
Here comes State with the basketball front court. Hubbard giving it off to Kugel. Riley Kugel working against Mark Sears. Kugel gives it back to Hubbard near side. He'll work off the screen. An open 3, hits off the back iron, no good. And here's Bama the other way after the rebound from Sears. Mark dribbles it over to Nelson. Grant a dribble, a handoff to Phylon. LeBaron goes to the top of the arc, now feeds it to Youngblood. Goes into the lane, puts up a leaner that's blocked, and the rebound controlled by Mississippi State. Nwoko giving it off to Hubbard, gives it back now to Matthews, and over on the left side, they'll feed it to Melendez. R.J. Melendez to Hubbard, being chased by Phylon. Hubbard on the drive into the paint, spins, got double team, kicks it back out. Matthews all over for 3, he knocks it down, and State takes the early advantage.
Yeah, that's a shot that you don't mind Mississippi State taking. Josh Hubbard, a great 3-point shooter, but this is a Mississippi State team that struggles from the 3-point line. Cam Matthews just a 20% 3-point shooter, but knocks it down.
Bama for 3, and a chance for 4. Chris Youngblood knocks home the first points of the night for Bama. A bank first 3-pointer. He's hacked in the act of shooting, and he will go to the line for an and 1 here early.
Cam Matthews is not a great 3-point shooter and just made 1. Chris Youngblood is a terrific 3-point shooter. 7 for 10 in Starkville earlier this year. Getting off to a hot start. Gets fouled and a chance for a 4-point play.
Youngblood, the Tuscaloosa native, knocks down the 4-point play. And Bama the 1-point advantage. 4-3 over the Bulldogs. Glad you're with us here in Tuscaloosa tonight. State with it front court. Hubbard playing off a screen, a double screen. Brings it to the right wing. They kick it in the corner to Matthews. Fakes a three, drives in the lane. A bounce pass on the right side. Nwoko spinning to his right. That's the hook to go. Man, that was more like a throw rather than a hook. But it went in nonetheless, and State takes a 5-4 advantage. Here's Sears over to Nelson, back to Sears. Thought about a three, hesitates, goes inside the arc, steps back, goes inside the arc, kicks it in the corner, Nelson. Pump fake, drive, lost it on the way in, taken away, and here comes State front court. Wasn't knocked away, he just seemed to lose it on the way in, as now Hubbard will drive, gets cut off, backs it out beyond the arc, gets a return feed from his guard and Kugel. Now they're working left side Matthews, and a delayed offensive foul is going to be whistled as Nelson got knocked to the deck. Took a little while, but somebody was able to get that call made, and Bama will go the other way.
Yeah, going back to the offensive end, Grant Nelson with a great move, but just lost the ball going up, trying to attack the paint. Didn't handle it well, but did a great job bouncing back defensively and taking the charge.
Here's Philon at the timeline, playing off of a screen, gives it up to Cliff, back to LeBaron, drives, and a moving screen on Mark Sears is going to be whistled as he tried to keep Nwoko from chasing LeBaron Philon, and that one on Mark will be his first. It'll be team foul number 1 on the Crimson Tide as well.
Not a ton of contact, but extended his arms just enough right in front of the official. Gets called for the foul, doesn't like it, and wasn't a ton of contact, but you can't extend your arms right in front of the official. They're going to call that more often than not.
Hubbard to Kugel on the far wing, drives, dishes into the paint. Matthews, leader off the window, no good. Rebounded by Cliff. He had 14 the other night. He'll give it off to Sears as Mark brings it front court. Sears takes it to the wing, backs it up to the timeline. Sears working against a defender, goes down the lane, stops on a dime, spins, throws it over to Philon. LeBaron on the drive, the flip to Sears. Mark on the drive, into the paint, gets mugged, and they'll call a travel on Mark Sears.
Well, going back to earlier in that possession, so much contact. We talked about the physical defense of Mississippi State. They're letting them play right now on that end of the floor. Alabama gets called for the travel. It looked like a travel, a little bit of contact, and Alabama with another turnover here in the early going.
Here is Melendez giving it off. Nwoko, 15-footer, short, rebounded again by Cliff, and Bama will come the other way. Sears taking it to the timeline, tries to go baseline, gets cut off, ball knocked out of bounds, touched last by Riley Kugel of Mississippi State. He was wearing a Florida uniform last year. He is or 2 years ago, a Gator who was from Orlando.
No, I think you're right. He was really good as a freshman, struggled as a sophomore, but he is a guy that is capable on both ends of the floor getting it going.
Ball knocked out of bounds on the inbounds play, but Bama will trigger it in once more.
It's so hard to keep up with guys.
No kid.
In college basketball, now going from SEC to SEC schools, but the transfer portal has worked out for Alabama.
Youngblood couldn't get the three to go. You're supposed to make that, Chris, so I can say, boy, has it ever. Now here comes State the other way. They just throw the ball away out of bounds. Looked like it slipped out of the hands of Kugel, who was trying to make the pass, and Alabama will have it back.
Mississippi State, a pretty efficient team on the offensive end. Defensively, number 2 in the SEC in steals, but offensively, they don't turn it over a lot. That was an unforced turnover. Alabama did a good job getting back in transition defense.
Here's Philon on the drive, gets down the lane, stops, pump fake, shot up and good. Thought he was going to get an and one opportunity. Instead, it's just the field goal that gives Bama a 6-5 lead. Kugel with the basketball, driving inside the arc, goes to his left, hands it off to Keyshawn Murphy, who's checked into the game. Murphy will hand it off to Kugel. Good defense. Philon knocked it away once, almost twice, but maintained possession is State. Murphy ran out of real estate, stepped on the baseline. It'll be Bama ball when we come back to Tuscaloosa. 16 minutes remain in the first half. Not a ton of scoring. We got a 6-5 advantage. Good guys on top here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready to rev up your engines and feel the excitement at Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac. We've got the perfect ride to match your style and adventure. Visit us at our showroom at Skyland Boulevard and let our friendly team help you find the vehicle of your dreams. Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac, where hometown pride and unbeatable deals collide. Drive with passion with Barkley. Visit us today or check us out online at barclaygmc.com.
Barkley makes it easy.
Domino's delivers game day across Tuscaloosa and the surrounding area. Locally owned in Tuscaloosa for 30-plus years, the team at Domino's is proud to be a supporter of Alabama basketball and athletics across the capstone. Domino's would like to thank our customers for supporting our local business for over 30 years. Make Domino's your choice on game days year-round. Domino's is proud to deliver your Alabama Crimson Tide game days anytime. Just visit RollDomino's.com. Thanks for your business and Roll Tide.
Tonight's game is brought to you by C-Spire. C-Spire is proud to support the continued growth in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham and is a proud sponsor of the University of Alabama. Bama's up 6-5 early, 16-minute timeout in the first half. The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohls.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. BP, we wanted a good start. Hadn't had one in a while, and a 4-point play is kind of a good way to get that done.
Yeah, Chris Youngblood, a guy that has had success against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. 23 points in the first game in late January. Gets off to a nice start, knocking down the three, getting fouled. And Alabama with the first media timeout and winning. That hadn't been the case in the last 3 games. Alabama has been down double digits in each of the last 3 games at this point. So to be up is a good place to be. Alabama's gotten off to some rough starts. That's been a point of emphasis for Nate Oates and his staff. And Alabama's doing a nice job, especially on the defensive end. Mississippi State, who doesn't turn it over a lot, has 3 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes and on a scoring drought for about that same amount of time. So Alabama getting it done on the defensive end, limiting Josh Hubbard. Had 38 in the first game against Alabama, career high for the sophomore from Mississippi State. Alabama's got to limit his touches. He's a guy that is small but can rise up. Gets up on his vertical, high release point, very difficult to defend, and also something to watch in this game. Josh Hubbard does as good a job as anybody I've seen in college basketball of drawing fouls when shooting the three-point shot. His natural shooting motion is kicking his legs out just enough to draw contact. So if you're chest to chest on him, which you're supposed to be against a guy that can shoot like that, he can draw contact with his natural shooting motion. Alabama's got to be careful on that end of the floor. Aggressive against him, but smart against the three-point shot.
Jaron Stevenson checked in. He inbounds the ball to another new guy on the floor, Aiden Holloway. For the Tide, Mo Diabate in for Alabama as well. They join Sears and Nelson. Aiden with it right of the circle. Backs it out, gives it off to Mo. Back to Aiden into the low post. Nelson double team. Spins away from it. Tried to make a pass onto the wing, but the ball's knocked away and goes out of bounds. Good hustle by Matthews of Mississippi State. Bama fortunate that that ball did not wind up in possession of the Dogs.
And Cam Matthews right around that ball, and it's not an accident. Leads the SEC in steals in conference games. Alabama gets it back. 10 on the shot clock. Got to be careful with the ball against the Bulldogs.
Sears had it poked away, got it back. Working against the defender, goes right, spins left. Double team, steps through, shot blocked, controlled by the Dogs. They get a steal. Here's Hubbard with it in the front court. Stops on the near wing, lets traffic catch up. Melendez goes in and throws it home. Guy really was responsible for all the chaos on the other end defensively. Gets rewarded with a bucket on the offensive end, and the Dogs lead it 7-6. Here's Holloway going to the free throw line, kicking over to Mo in the corner. Nelson, catch and shoot, 3, too strong. Rebound claimed by Matthews, and the Dogs want to run. Matthews in the front court, fires it over to Kugel. He'll pull up, near wing 15-footer, no good. Rebounded weak side Stevenson, and Jaron will bring it front court now. Stevenson leaving it for Mo on the wing. Thought about it. Now will bring it to his left. Keeps the dribble alive beyond the arc. Goes down the lane. Kicks it in the corner. Grant thought about a three. He'll drive in, try to throw a bounce pass, batted away and stolen. Bama turns it over again here in the early going. Now it's Hubbard into the corner. Kugel all alone, three ball, no good, and neither team able to get anything done from the perimeter. Here's Bama with front court with it with Sears. 7-6, State with the early advantage. Sears working behind the back with the dribble, stops, looks, far wing for Mo. He says, I'll try it. Why not?
Mo Diabate was the first Alabama player in Coleman Coliseum before the game. And what was he working on? That, the three-point shot. Got up hundreds of threes before this game ever started. Pays off as he knocks down the open look.
Another bank first three and gives Bama a 9-7 advantage. Hubbard, though, trying to answer near side. That's no good. Bad looking shot. Mo clears it. Mo bringing it ahead. Stopping on the wing. Lets traffic come by. Trying to back his way down. No. Fires it to Mark. All alone. That was a bank first threes for the Tide.
Mark was open the whole time and did a good job after not a great pass.
Hubbard, a great move, getting to the rim and laying it off the window for two.
Going back to the offensive end, Mark Sears was off balance because the pass was not on target. Put the ball down, gathered himself, and was able to knock it down.
Sears driving the lane, a blocking foul on Mississippi State as Hubbard was late getting to the spot. And Mark's strength, but his quickness evident right there with 13:26 to go here in the first half. Bama on top 12-9, and State now with 3 team fouls. Alabama has been called for 1.
Mark Sears is one of the best three-point shooters in college basketball. Has a tendency to take a 30-footer when he could take a 22-footer.
Yeah.
And that time caught it at about 30, took a dribble, gathered himself, was on balance, and knocked it down. The problem is he can make those 30-footers. I don't blame him for taking them.
Bama works it inside to Mo. Pump fake, shot, block, got it back, put it in. 14-9 as Diabate now has 5, and State will come the other way. They've made some changes. They've got Sean Jones on the floor, also backing his way down. Keyshawn Murphy staked it away by the Tide. Here comes Holloway racing to the left side, goes to the baseline, gets cut off, works it out to Mo. Back he goes to Holloway. Aiden to Mo in the paint, kicks it out. Sherrill for 3, no good, and the rebound tipped out. Oh, they're going to call a foul on Alabama's Jaron Stevenson over the back of a shorter Mississippi State Bulldog.
Boy, that was great offense by Alabama. What a defensive play by Aiden Holloway. Had Keyshawn Murphy, the 6'9" center, matched up on him. Aiden just picked his pocket, went the other way. Great ball movement, ended up with a wide open shot from Aiden Sherrill. And Jaron Stevenson gets called for the foul. Not a lot of contact on that over the back call.
Nwoko with the basketball, looking for Delquan Warren, the guard. Couldn't get it to him. Pivots, couldn't get it to another teammate. Now finally feeds it off near side to Murphy, trying to back his way down on Mo. Good luck with that. He'll feed it over on the right side to Nwoko. Baseline jump hook, no good. Sherrill, good defense, gets the rebound, gives it off to Holloway. That Aiden will drive, stops, top of the arc, gives it off to Sherrill. Pump fake in the lane, no good, and a foul is going to be whistled on Mississippi State.
Great job defensively by Alabama to force a difficult shot. Aiden Sherrill gets the defensive rebound and runs the floor, gets rewarded with a high pick and roll. The reason he's at the foul line, he took it strong to the basket, right in the chest of the defender. Gets called for the foul against Mississippi State, and he goes to the line for 2.
Sherrill's first is up, and it is good. Chris Youngblood will check in, and Jaron Stevenson will sit down for the Crimson Tide. A big whistle a few moments ago, about 3 possessions ago. He had a bang-bang play. We told you Sears got fouled. It was Hubbard that committed his second. He's on the bench, has been since that time, as the free throw from Aiden Sherrill is good. He gets a pair to drop, and Bama now has a 16-9 lead. But the top scorer last game out for State is on the bench with 2 fouls with 12:09 and ticking time left here in the opening half from Tuscaloosa. Nwoko pivoting, struggling to get it to a teammate. Hands it off finally to Jones. Gives it over far side to Warren. 7 to shoot. Warren looking onto the far wing. They'll drive. They'll put up a tough baseline jumper. It's an air ball caught by Diabate. Now to Holloway on the left wing. Aiden looking in the corner to LeBaron. Back to Holloway. To Sherrill. Back to Holloway again. Driving, looking, ball batted away. Picked up by Mo. Had it knocked out of his hands, and that's going to be called a foul on Diabate.
What? I don't think they called a foul.
Not
it was
a foul.
out of
Forgive
bounds.
me. You're right. Out of bounds on Mo.
Tough break for Alabama. Great job defensively for the Crimson Tide, and the crowd appreciated it. Intense on that end of the floor. Started the Alabama fast break, but not able to score off of it.
I thought Mo got fouled, and in my excitement, I said it all wrong.
He thought he did because he did, but they didn't call it.
No, they didn't. Doug Sermon's back in Tuscaloosa. Always good to see Doug, along with Steven Anderson and KB Burdett Jr. working tonight's game here in Coleman Coliseum. We got 11:36 to go first half. Bama, a 16-9 lead over Mississippi State. More coming up in a moment on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Preserving, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood offers top-notch pressure-treated wood for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. When it comes to quality, we're on the winning team. Visit your local Everwood dealer today and discover the difference for yourself. Everwood Preserving Incorporated, the official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
I'm Coach Nate Oates, and this is the Ford F-Series Highlight Show. Talk about an outstanding lineup. Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty deliver impressive power and game-changing capability. That's why I'm a fan of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 47 consecutive years. For the latest offers on a Ford truck, go to buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. Roll Tide.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY industry reported total sales.
Back at Coleman, Bama's up 7, 16-9, 11:36 to go in the first half. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download it now for free at the App Store and Google Play. Quick Alabama Power scoreboard. Georgia hangs on in Athens to defeat Florida 88-83. And the man across the way who called 31 runs in the pitcher's duel at the Joe. Bama wins 20-11, Roger Hoover. Thanks for coming over here and putting in a little double dip.
Yeah, it's going to be on this side of Coliseum Drive after another impressive baseball victory for Alabama. Good jobs all around in that Crimson Tide huddle, from the coaching staff, Nate Oates, to the players, and Chris Youngblood basically had the message, we're not letting up. Good defensive pressure. Coach Adams really praised that for what Alabama was able to do in that last 4-minute war, holding Mississippi State to only 9 points so far through this ball game. So again, good job kind of all the way around, Bryan Passink and the Crimson Tide huddle.
Yeah, love the effort and the toughness of Alabama on the defensive end. Not shooting a great percentage, just 38%, but the defensive intensity is there. And I think that is going to be what determines what Alabama does to finish the regular season here tonight, and then the stretch against Tennessee, Florida, and Auburn onto the postseason. Is what does this team do on the defensive end? Because defense leads to offense for this team. The fastest-paced team in college basketball, the leading scoring team in the country. If this team could turn into a top 20, 25 defense, they can win the national championship as good as they are on the offensive end. They've been up and down on the defensive end, but they were better against Kentucky, and obviously way too early to determine this one. But so far through the first 8.5 minutes, Alabama has been really good on the defensive end.
Out of the timeout, Chris Youngblood, LeBaron Philon, Mark Sears, Clifford Amore, and Grant Nelson, the 5 on the floor for the Crimson Tide of Coach Nate Oates. State countering with Keyshawn Murphy, Claudell Harris Jr., also Cam Matthews, Jones, and Warren. Warren with the basketball, feeding it off to Matthews, now to Jones near side. Jones will drive across the lane, kicks it to Matthews, top of the arc. Takes 2 dribbles to his right, stops midway down the block, looks into the low post, feeds it off to Murphy. Murphy trying to post up on Youngblood. Spins, backs his way down, Walt. Got away with it? No, they did call the travel on him. So loud, couldn't hear the whistle. He threw the ball away anyway. It was going to be a steal by Grant Nelson, even if it had been called a traveling violation, but thankfully it was.
Well, it was a great job defensively by Chris Youngblood at 6'3", guarding a 6'9" center. Forced the turnover.
Here's Phylon with it, center of the floor, over to Sears, near wing 3. Man, that's pretty. Mark Sears, another bank first 3, and Bama leads it 19-9.
It was pretty, and it was easy. Not something you typically see against a Christians defense. Mark Sears wide open, knocks it down.
Warren on the drive for State. Stops, kicks it back out. Near side Harris. Harris hounded by Phylon. Takes it to the baseline. Tried to go behind the back with a pass. It kind of dribbled out, and it winds up in the hands of Warren. Warren at the free throw line. Feeds it off. Layup is good for 2. Boy, State having to work for everything they get on the offensive end.
Yeah, nothing easy for Mississippi State. Alabama getting after it defensively.
Sears kicks it out. Nelson fakes the 3. Gets into the paint. Lays it up. No. Tip. No. Rebound control by State. Bama leading it 19-11 as the Dogs come the other way.
That was a great move by Grant Nelson. Just looked like he lost his balance a little bit as he was going into his shot.
Murphy, a quick move right side, wouldn't go. Rebound tipped out. Saved by Nelson. Gives it off to Youngblood. Fires it ahead to Phylon. LeBaron driving down the lane. Tried to hand it off to Cliff. It's deflected out of bounds. Touched last by the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Go ahead.
Great job defensively by Alabama. Even the shots that Mississippi State has made, nothing has been easy. And Christians will have to go back to his all-SEC point guard, Josh Hubbard. You mentioned the 2 quick fouls early. He went to the Alabama bench, and Mississippi State has not had much on the offensive end. You know where they're going to go with Hubbard back in.
Phylon with the basketball for Alabama, going to his right, drives down the lane, high out the window, no. Cliff, absolutely yes, with a follow. Throws it down, and Bama leads it by 10 again. Here's Hubbard on the floor with 2 fouls. Feeds it off to Matthews. Gives it off. Harris rises, fires, misses from 3. Rebound tipped out, touched last by Chris Youngblood of Alabama. Youngblood, Stevenson, Phylon, Sears, and Cliff, the 5 on the floor for Alabama. Melendez will check in for State, replacing Claudell Harris Jr.
Alabama's one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, but especially when Cliff Amore's on the floor. Just needed to get it up on the goal. LeBaron Phylon was able to do that, and Cliff threw it down.
Hubbard with the basketball, fires the pass into the corner to Matthews. He dribbles to the wing, feeds it off at the elbow to Murphy, then hands it to Hubbard. Off balance 3, no good. Rebound tipped out long, again touched by, they say, State this time. Boy, I thought Youngblood touched it. I also thought he got shoved. They called neither. It'll be Bama basketball as State apparently did touch it last.
Well, it went off of Chris Youngblood, but right before it went out of bounds, it did hit a Mississippi State Bulldog. Alabama with another stop.
Here comes Phylon front court for Alabama with 9:17 and ticking time left. First half here at Coleman Coliseum. Phylon on the drive, stopping, circling, back out to Sears, to Cliff, back to Mark. Mark spins off the screen, gets into the paint, stops, gets mugged, bounce pass into the corner, goes to Stevenson. Jaron fires one to Phylon, all alone, 3. Knocked it down, another bank first 3, their 5th on 9 tries. State tries to answer. Corner, Melendez, no. Rebound tipped, and a foul's going to be whistled on Chris Youngblood of the Crimson Tide.
Great job offensively by Alabama. LeBaron Phylon was all alone until the Mississippi State Bulldog Melendez got a great contest. I thought he might block the shot, but LeBaron Phylon with nice high arching 3 knocks it down. Alabama able to get out to the 3-point shooter Melendez, but can't close out the defensive possession. It was a shove right before the rebound came, and Youngblood got called for it.
Cliff and LeBaron sit down. Mo and Aiden check in for the Tide. That's Holloway. Matthews trying to back his way down against Mo. Gets into the paint. Spins. Stops. Needs help. Throws a pass to Melendez, who hits the bottom of the glass with the layup attempt, and Bama will come the other way. Sears into the front court, going downhill, going to the rack, and he will miss the layup as it was challenged, and here comes State the other way. Bama leading it by 13, 24-11. Hubbard working inside the arc, puts up a little teardrop and gets it to go.
We're going back to the offensive end. What a move by Mark Sears. Not able to finish, but got past a couple of really good defensive players.
Holloway, step back 3, too strong. Rebound tipped, fought for, goes out of bounds. Wow. It went off of Jaron Stevenson, and it will be Mississippi State's basketball.
Great effort by Jaron Stevenson. He was just laying on the wrong spot as he went down. Mentioned how physical this game was. He went in, got knocked to the ground, and the ball landed on him as he was out of bounds. Great effort by Alabama. Push it in transition, just not able to score in the last couple of occasions, but love their aggressiveness on both ends.
Here comes State into the front court with the dribble alive. It'll be Josh Hubbard. Feeds it off to Melendez, driving into the lane, layup, literally crawled over the iron. Able to get it to go, and Bama's leads down to 9. The Tide hurries the other way, though, to Cliff at the top of the arc. Takes a dribble, gives it off to Holloway. Aiden dribbling away from a double team, weaving through traffic. Fires it over to Mark, all alone. Good night, that was pretty. Holloway to Sears for another bank first 3.
Aiden Holloway looks like a Harlem Globetrotter point guard. Dribble on a string, finds his teammate Mark Sears for the wide open 3.
Matthews trying to answer, can't do it. Rebound snatched out of the air by Nelson. Hands it off to Mark Sears, front court. Crosses to his right, splits defenders down the lane. Look out, train! Grant Nelson right down Main Street, throws it home. Timeout, Bulldogs. Crowd erupts after Grant Nelson got a great pass, went down the lane, threw it home with authority, and Bama has a 29-15 lead when we come back on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Bama fans, this is Roger Hoover. Each Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR.
Convenience is the name of the game at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Tuscaloosa University. Located on Veterans Memorial Parkway, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Tuscaloosa University offers just the right amenities for a relaxing getaway or a productive business trip. The University of Alabama, Bryant-Denny Stadium, Coleman Coliseum, and the Bryan Conference Center are within 2 miles, making any visit to the Capstone convenient. Whatever you're visiting Tuscaloosa for, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Tuscaloosa University is the perfect hotel destination and a proud preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide.
Bama's up 14, 29-15 over Mississippi State. 7:07 to go in the first half. Making Evan Williams Bourbon part of your game day traditions is a slam dunk. Visit evanwilliams.com to find a bottle near you. Evan Williams, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky. Think wisely, drink wisely, and roll Tide, Roger Hoover.
Roll Tide indeed. Great energy coming off the floor just then for the Crimson Tide going into the huddle. And again, a nice job defensively by Alabama, only allowing 6 points in the last 4-minute stretch. So Coach Adams certainly like that. Keeping up the intensity is certainly going to be key for the Crimson Tide moving forward, Bryan, especially in rebounds. So coaching staff really pleased with the way Alabama rebounding basketball both ends of the floor at the moment.
Yeah, Alabama, the best rebounding team in the SEC, out rebounding the Bulldogs by a couple here in the early going. Defensively, holding Mississippi State to 33% from the field, and Alabama getting great looks from beyond the arc. Bama 6 for 11 from deep, and talked about it before the game. If you can take care of the ball against Mississippi State, they're number 2 in the SEC in steals, but they're not a great three-point defensive team, and Alabama's been able to expose that. Alabama 6 for 11 from deep, led by Mark Sears. He's 3 for 4 from the three-point line. He's got 9 points and 3 assists. Knocked down the 3 a couple possessions ago, comes back, dribbles the lane, draws the defense, finds Grant Nelson for the throwdown. Mississippi State had to get a timeout. Alabama looking good on both ends of the floor.
Looking good indeed as the Tide leads it by its largest margin. But, man, this is a start that we haven't seen, obviously, in a while, but also a level of intensity on the defensive end. And it's not coincidental that the two are happening.
Well, and it started against Kentucky. Alabama was great on the defensive end. against a high-powered offense in the Kentucky Wildcats. And defensively, so far, so good for Alabama. Slowing down the Bulldogs. But Josh Hubbard, a guy that could put his team on his back. We saw that earlier this year in Starkville.
Matthews with the basketball, kicks it over onto the far wing. They'll throw it into the low post. It's batted away and stolen. Here comes Sears the other way. Mark driving the lane, stopping on the left block, backing it out to the wing, going baseline again, flips it over his head to Nelson. Now to Youngblood. Man, is it a fun day at the office.
Great ball movement. Mark Sears got it inside. Grant Nelson had an open three, but was able to find Chris Youngblood coming off a screen in rhythm. Knocks down Alabama's 7th three of the first half.
All of them brought to you by Bank First. As State goes inside, misses the layup as Cliff challenged it. Here comes Mark the other way. Sears stopping on the wing, bringing it to the top of the arc now. Flips it over to Cliff. Give it back to him. Oh, it wouldn't go, and Cliff rebounds the miss. Bama should get another try. Youngblood on the wing, looking to Cliff, back to CY. He'll try one. That's fine.
Does he love playing against Mississippi State? Had 7 threes in the first matchup, and he is hot here in the first half.
Bulldogs work it to Nwoko. Now near side they go to Kugel. He'll drive. He'll dish it off to no one. It's out of bounds. Tried to hit a man on the baseline. It was wearing a State jersey. Instead, it hit a photographer on the baseline with a pass, and Alabama will take it over after turnover number 6 by the Bulldogs, and the Tide enjoying a 20-point advantage with 5:48 and ticking left in the opening half.
Alabama on an 11-0 run in the last minute, 44 seconds. State hasn't scored in over 2 minutes.
Sears looking low post Nelson. Grant tried to drive. They double team, so he'll have to bring it away from traffic. 12 to shoot now as he works left side of the lane. Had it poked away. Dives on the deck to try to save it, but State comes away with it for a moment. Kugel picks it up. Now we'll flip it ahead to Matthews. Drives in, stops, lays it in for 2. Alabama loses it for the 5th time, but Nelson will run the other way. Goes in. They're going to call him for an offensive foul.
Out of control right there. The defense was set. Grant Nelson a little out of sorts on the offensive end, couple of turnovers, and really wasn't there. Like the mindset, but Mississippi State able to get back and take the charge, and another Alabama turnover.
Cliff, Grant, Holloway all check out. Stevenson, Philon, Diabate check in for the Crimson Tide. Mark also takes a seat. And Aiden Sherrill has come in. That is our 5th. So an Aiden in, an Aiden out. Here's Hubbard front court for the Tide. Flips it over for the Dogs, excuse me. They'll drive in, nearly thrown away. It was deflected, but by a State player. It was Claudell Harris.
What a great job by LeBaron Philon. The referees are talking about it, and it was off of Mississippi State. LeBaron Philon got the deflection, went off him, and then Harris for the Bulldogs. Alabama gets another stop.
Philon will bring it ahead for Alabama with the Tide on top by 18. LeBaron cut off, tried to drive right, hesitates, gives it off. Youngblood, he'll try one. Shooting fish in a barrel right now.
He wants to play Mississippi State another time. He is hot.
State tries to answer, couldn't for 3, and they're going to wave off the putback dunk as they say basket interference by Keyshawn Murphy. It was in the cylinder.
Chris Youngblood is 4 for 5 from the three-point line here with 4:37 to play in the first half. Going back about a month in Starkville, 7 for 10 from deep. He's been able to get free and no hesitation, playing with so much confidence.
Philon working between the circles, goes left, goes right, dumps it off inside to Mo, he'll throw it home.
I thought he should have dropped it off to Chris Youngblood. He was open at the three-point line. Both of them are layups. One counts a little bit more than the other. I don't know, maybe not the right decision, but we'll take the easy dunk from Mo Diabate.
4:15 left to go here in the opening half. It's all Bama at the moment, trying to keep it going. Harris driving, dishing back outside to Murphy. He'll get into the lane, throws it up and in off the window, and I do mean throws it up and in. Clanged it in, got it to drop it. Here comes Bama the other way, up 21. Diabate on the drive, cut off, pivots, fires it over to Sherrill, to Youngblood. Bounce pass to Sherrill, into the lane, off the window and in.
That's why he was a 5-star McDonald's All-American. To be able to catch that and finish at 6'11", showing you the athleticism.
Hubbard misses the runner, rebounded Stevenson. Bama ripping and running. Here comes Filon, behind the back with a dribble, into the lane, outside Stevenson. One more to Sherrill, one more to Youngblood. Let it go, baby. Fouled, shot wouldn't go. 3 shots upcoming when we come back. 42-19. Tide rolling here in the opening half on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted Best Wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Alabama Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Tonight's game is brought to you by C-Spire. C-Spire is proud to support the continued growth in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham and is a proud sponsor of the University of Alabama. Bama teaching the Bulldogs to behave right now at 23, 42-19, 3:28 to go in the first half. Stay with us at the half for the Toyota halftime report with first half stats, scores from around the SEC, and a quick chat with Coach Nate Oates presented by Cook's Pest Control. Across the way now to Roger Hoover.
Well, Nate Oates really liking the defensive intensity, talking about how it's even jumped up as this game has gone along. So he's really liked that. Key message now from Coach Oates and the entire coaching staff is making sure they treat this game like it's not 42-19 in favor of Alabama, but rather a 0-0 game over this last 3:28. As we talked about before, Bryan, finishing the half the right way is really key for this basketball team moving forward. And for the defense, it's been really good, but you got to finish out the right way here with 3:28 to go.
Got to finish strong, and I love the start. That's something that we haven't seen from Alabama in a long time, is a strong start on both ends of the floor. Alabama came out with a focus and the right mindset and defensive intensity to start this game, and offensively knocking down shots at a high rate. Said it before the game that Alabama should be able to get good looks against this Mississippi State defense. They are physical, they're tough, but they're not a great three-point defensive team. If you can take care of the ball, you're going to get great looks. Just got to step up and knock them down, and Alabama has been knocking them down in a big way. 9 for 15 from deep here in the first half, 60% from three. And on the flip side, Mississippi State just 1 for 9, 11% from beyond the arc. Now Alabama, #1 in the SEC in three-pointers made per game at over 10. They're almost there with 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. Mississippi State, a team that doesn't shoot it great as a team from three, but Josh Hubbard, one of the best three-point shooters in college basketball, a guy that can get it going quick. And how about Chris Youngblood, 23 points against Mississippi State in January, 7 for 10 from deep in that one, already 4 for 5, and doing what he should, letting it fly when he touches it. They had to foul him, and it'll be Youngblood at the line for three.
We're getting dunks and upset because we don't throw it to him right now for threes.
they're all layups right now for Chris Youngblood.
And he's over laying on the bench for Mississippi State practically when we let it fly, but we're yelling, good shot. He gets hacked. He goes to the line for three. He's made the first two. trying to make it 45-19, and he does just that. Youngblood, a phenomenal start to this ball game. 16 points to lead the Crimson Tide. 3:20 to go in the half. Hubbard goes in high off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Mo. The shot altered by Diabate, and he gets the board. Now Stevenson with it on the wing. Jaron trying to dribble away from Hubbard, picks it up, needs help, hands it off to Mo. It's deflected out of bounds, touch last by the Crimson Tide. The quick hands of Josh Hubbard forcing that turnover.
Well, that's one where LeBaron, Philon, and Chris Youngblood have to come help. Alabama going with a little bigger lineup. Only 2 traditional guards in the game. Neither of them touched the ball on that possession. It wasn't pretty from the start. One of Alabama's really only bad possessions in this game in a long time.
State with the basketball. Jones at the free throw line. Picks it up, gives it off to Hubbard. Shot clock under 15. Now to Jones, top of the arc. His 3 is no good. Rebound fought for and claimed by Diabate. Good box out from Sherrell. Mo ran it down to the corner, and now it's Philon bringing it to the baseline. Cut off, needs help, gives it off to Sherrell. Back to Philon. He'll try one. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound saved by Mo in the corner, and now a rebounding foul is going to be whistled on Mississippi State as Jaron Stevenson got knocked to the deck there by Sean Jones Jr.
And after the foul call, Chris Youngblood grabbed the ball, flicked it up there, nothing but net. This guy is absolutely on fire, and this Alabama team is. Alabama on a 21-4 run in the last 5 minutes. Getting it done on both ends of the floor. You see how good Alabama is, one of the best teams in the country, maybe the best team in the country when they're getting stops like this and getting out and running and creating offense off of their defense like we've seen in this one.
Youngblood in the left corner playing off the screen from Sherrell. Fires it over to Mark. Looks right. Nothing there. He'll drive left. He'll kick it into the corner. Sherrell tries the 3. Misses it. And the rebound snatched on the weak side by Matthews, who fires it ahead to Harris. He'll drive. He'll dish. Far corner, Melendez. 3. Good. That's the prettiest, really, transition opportunity we've seen from State in a long time, maybe the entire game. And it's 45-22 Alabama. Diabate tries for another 3. That one was everything but good. It was halfway down and then some. Rimmed out, and here comes State the other way. Dogs on the drive. Hubbard fires it back to Melendez. Right corner. This 3 is wedged. No good. Rebound fought for. Claimed by State. Sherrell, a great job getting a hand on it, but they're going to say it will belong to the Bulldogs as it went out of bounds. You and I, Brian, I believe, thought that Sherrell deflected it, but it went off of Murphy. That's not the way Doug Sermon saw it. He was closer than either of us.
Good effort by Alabama. Second chance opportunity for Mississippi State. They're starting to get into a little rhythm on the offensive end. Even the ones they've missed, they've gotten better shots the last few possessions.
Harris outside to Murphy now, top of the arc. He'll hand it off to Hubbard. Hubbard hounded by Sears. Driving, puts it up again high off the window and got it to go. He is really good. Able to get that one to drop. Thankfully, though, he's only got 4 points. 45-24, Bama with a lead. The lob to Cliff, and he throws it home. What a beautiful feed from Art Sears.
He threw it like a quarterback where he thought the receiver was going to end up because Cliff Amore was at the free throw line almost when he threw it. Beautiful pass and finish by Cliff.
Matthews on the drive, down the lane, shot blocked. They're going to call a foul. I think Grant got him with a body, even though Cliff got it clean up high. Reverse that. They say Cliff got him with a body. He and Grant were both there, but Matthews will earn a trip to the free throw line. The 6'7" graduate student from Olive Branch, Mississippi, able to knock down the first.
I think Cam Matthews, one of the most underrated players in the SEC, leads the league in steals, top 10 in assists. One of the better rebounders on both ends of the floor, a veteran who just does everything for Chris Jans.
Matthews free throw up, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds, touch last by the Crimson Tide. Melendez challenging Nelson, and Grant had it go off his fingertips. Possession will belong to the Bulldogs. 47-25, Alabama with the lead. The Tide has led by as many as 26 in this first half. State inbounds it out high to Murphy. Murphy working against Cliff. Goes right, goes left. Stops, spins, fall-away jumper, rolls off. Rebounded near side Nelson. And here comes now Aiden Holloway running the other way. Holloway, little shake-and-bake move, gives it off to Sears. Mark getting hacked at by Harris. Mark driving, stopping, firing. Holloway, deep three.
Well, you got to pick your poison. You had Chris Youngblood in the corner. Had to decide if you were going to guard Chris Youngblood, who's 4 for 5 from 3, or Aiden Holloway, the leading three-point percentage shooter in the SEC. They picked wrong. Alabama knocks down another 3.
And another timeout from Chris Jans, the head coach of Mississippi State. We're going to keep it right here, but we will pause a tad early. 10 seconds. 10 seconds we pause for station identification. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. .42 seconds remaining, first half. Alabama, a 50-25 advantage over the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Chris Jan's team led this one by 3 to start the game. First bucket of the contest. Alabama, though, has been on a tear since. Bulldogs bringing it front court. Driving left will be Warren. He'll hand it off inside, and throwing it home for 2 is Keyshawn Murphy. Bama should get the final shot as the shot clock is dark. Game clock's at 20 seconds. Mark has it front court. Nate Oates not using a timeout at the moment, just calling the play from there. Sears will take it top of the arc. Feeds it off. Stevenson into the corner. Youngblood fakes the 3. Drives, dishes. Mo, one more to Mark. Why not? What a half he has had along with his teammates. Buzzer sounds, half ends, and the Tide rolls to the locker room with a 53-27 advantage over Mississippi State. Television will get Coach Oates first, and then it'll be Roger.
Chris Jans goes zone that last possession. You could see Alabama's guards salivating, knowing they were going to get a great look with this Nate Oates zone offense. They did. Mark Sears knocks down Alabama's 11th 3 of the first half.
Coach Oates talking with ESPN as the Dogs have been around us. ESPN has been around us a good bit as of late, hopefully for a long time. But Alabama continuing to play well, and at intermission enjoys a 53-27 lead over Mississippi State. Here's Roger with Coach.
Coach, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, much better start. You know, our number one thing on defense was we got to start with a sense of urgency. I thought LeBaron sense of urgency tonight was way better than it was against Kentucky. You know, Hubbard had 38. First time we played him, he's sitting at, what's he got, four right now, I think? 6. He's got 6, which a lot better than 38. So I've sensed urgency on him. We've done a better job taking care of the ball and getting ourselves quality shots, too.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Roger. And thank you to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's, a great partner with us here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. They bring us Coach Oates at the half. And what a half it has been for the Crimson Tide. Give pests the full court press. Call Cook's today to protect your home and business from pests and termites. At intermission, Bama 53, Mississippi State 27. Roger Hoover takes you through our halftime show next on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime, but the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Let's huddle up and make things happen with the only cards for T-Town. The University of Alabama Regions Visa Debit Card and Prepaid Regions Now Card. They're a win for your wallet and a big roll tide, whether you're purchasing stuff for game day or every day. Want to go all in on confidently showing your Tide pride? Order your card now at regions.com/GoBama. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees apply.
Your moment has arrived. It's time to shed the normal day-to-day version of yourself and let your most fabulous self loose. Make your way to Wind Creek Wetumpka, because whatever your idea of fabulous is, this is where you'll find it. Wind Creek Wetumpka. It's your kind of fabulous. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ever wondered what a 30-foot tall pistachio looks like? A giant redwood or Big Sur? Chevron with Techron will be there to help you see them and tons of other places you have to see to believe. Because with unbeatable mileage and a clean engine, cars feel great. So next time you want to fill up on a little adventure, an awkward family photo, or a new commute to work, make sure to fill up at Chevron's along the way. Your car and your memories will thank you. Chevron with Techron, fueled by possibility.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Get $1,750 in bonus lease cash on a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5. Offer valid through March 3rd, 2025. Offer entitles $1,750 bonus lease cash on the lease of a new and untitled 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 gas vehicle. Bonus cash may be used only toward down payment or capitalized cost reduction on the new vehicle. See dealer for details.
Crimson Tide Basketball is brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Barkley Buick GMC, where Barkley makes it easy. Auto Owners Insurance. Visit rolltide.com/auto owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent. Cook's Pest Control. Cook's, the South's most trusted name in pest control and proud sponsor of Alabama basketball. And by the Soup Store, the best place in town to get all your Alabama gear. Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Report. Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Halftime in Tuscaloosa. It's Alabama 53 and Mississippi State 27. Roger Hoover, glad to welcome you to the Toyota Halftime Report. Visit your local Toyota dealer or explore Toyota.com today. Take advantage of the amazing deals on our full line of vehicles. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places. Alabama in front, 53-27 at the break. Individually, the Crimson Tide led by Chris Youngblood. 16 points for Youngblood in the first half, followed by Mark Sears with 12, joining him in double figures. Other scorers for the Crimson Tide include Mohamed Diabate with 7 points. Mohamed also leads the way with 8 rebounds for the Crimson Tide. 5 points by LeBaron Philon, 4 points by Clifford Amori, as well as Aiden Sherrill off the bench. 2 points by Grant Nelson. Meanwhile, the top scorer for Mississippi State at the half is R.J. Melendez with 7 points. Once again, the score at the break, it's Alabama 53 and Mississippi State 27. We'll continue with more of the Toyota Halftime Report next. This is Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Each Monday night, join us for Hey Coach, presented by Alpha Insurance. Live at 6 p.m. Central from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa. We'll talk Alabama athletics with Tide coaches and players, plus take your calls. Hey Coach is available to listen to across our radio network, the Varsity Network app, as well as a video stream on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Hey Coach, Mondays at 6 p.m. on the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
When the game goes into overtime. But
The game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tired of being just another patient at your chain pharmacy? Make the switch to Payless Drugs. With 5 convenient locations in Bessemer, Birmingham, Fairfield, Morris, and Springfield, our knowledgeable team can provide personalized medication reviews and supplement recommendations, deliver medications to your door, and more. Visit mypaylessdrugs.com to transfer today. We're just what the doctor ordered.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Alabama. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
This is Tom Stipe with your Alabama Power Scoreboard Update. Halftime score from Coleman. Bama leads Mississippi State 53-27. One final so far on the night in Athens. Georgia upsets Florida 88-83. Second half score, early second half in Baton Rouge. LSU's trailing Tennessee 26-23. And Mizzou at home is up big on South Carolina at the half, 52-37. For comprehensive coverage of college basketball, tune into SiriusXM SEC Channel 374 in your car and on the all-new SiriusXM app. So listen anywhere with SiriusXM. It's the home of your favorite team. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/SEC Radio 2025. We'll take a look at team stats next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Your moment has arrived. It's time to shed the normal day-to-day version of yourself and let your most fabulous self loose. Make your way to Wind Creek Wetumpka, because whatever your idea of fabulous is, this is where you'll find it. Wind Creek Wetumpka. It's your kind of fabulous. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Favorite jeans, favorite shirt. Yakinick sausage and I'm firing it up. Yeah, everybody knows that's how I get my grill on. You can smell that flavor up and down the road. It's a little taste of heaven, and everybody knows that's how I get my grill on. Kanaka sausage. It's just a little taste of heaven.
Sports bring us together. The sickness can keep us apart. Don't miss out on what matters most.
Vaccines help keep you in the stands while we are on the court.
Staying up to date on your vaccines, including for respiratory viruses, keeps you in the game, protecting yourself and those around you. Be here, be healthy.
Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM for more information.
I'm Coach Nate Oates, and this is the Ford F-150 Highlight Show. To stay on top, you got to keep raising your game, just like the 2024 Ford F-150, the smartest, most connected F-150 ever. Ford offers impressive technology to help you get the job done in the smartest way possible. For the latest offers on a Ford F-150, go to buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsors of the Crimson Tide. Roll Tide.
a second. Yeah, man. Bama leads Mississippi State at the half, 53-27, and the sounds of the game are presented by Beatbox, the original party punch, and an official sponsor of the Crimson Tide with a lineup of bold flavors that are low sugar, gluten-free, and resealable. Beatbox has a flavor for everyone. Look for it across the Southeast or your next tailgate. Halftime stats, shooting percentage, Bama 53% overall, 55 from bank first three land, 6 of 6 from the foul line. For Mississippi State, 36% overall, 17 outside the arc, and 1 of 2 from the stripe. Team rebounding, Bama leads at 21-17. Turnovers, Bama 7, Dogs with 9, get at the half. Bama leads Mississippi State 53-27. That does it for the Toyota halftime report. Second halves coming right up. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer last year and had chemo and radiation at DCH's Lewis and Faye Madison Cancer Center. I'm thankful for the support of my nurse Kate, my breast navigator Katrina, my doctors, and the whole staff. I have felt confident like I was the most important person there, before, during, and after. Tuscaloosa is blessed to have such an excellent team at the Madison Cancer Center.
Great things are happening at DCH.
Crimson Tide fans, this season don't lose out on your home comfort. Brown Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics and has been delivering the highest standards in home comfort across Birmingham for over 60 years. If you're looking for a great team and elite service from a quality company that cares, you can't miss with Brown in Birmingham. Score big this year with Brown Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Visit brownheatingandcooling.com/specials to save on your next service. Roll Tide!
See the call as we make the call. Watch the Courtside Cam presented by NASCAR for each Alabama home basketball game. Streaming live on all CTSN social media platforms, you can get a front row seat to every big play and every reaction from the Alabama radio crew for men's and women's basketball. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X at UA_CTSN.
Wide open 9, left corner 3. Switch!
At Red Diamond, we know that there's simply nothing better than the perfect sip of fresh brewed iced tea. And we've been working hard to make sure choosing Red Diamond is always easy. With only simple ingredients, water, tea leaves, and pure cane sugar, or no sugar. We make sure our tea tastes like, well, tea. Stop by your local cooler and pick up a gallon for a perfect sip today. Red Diamond. Perfect's not easy.
This has been the Toyota Halftime Report. Visit your local Toyota dealers or explore Toyota.com today. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places.
Back at Coleman at the half. Bama's up a cool 26 over Mississippi State, 53-27. What to look for in the second half is presented by Citgo. The Crimson Tide runs harder on Tri-Clean gasoline from Citgo. BP, can we just double this and go home?
Yeah, just don't let up. Keep playing. Alabama wants to come out and continue to play well on both ends of the floor and play to a standard. We've heard that somewhere before, but forget about the scoreboard and just keep playing. Alabama with one of their best halves of the year on both ends of the floor. Alabama shot it great, 11 for 20 from the three-point line, but got it done defensively, holding Mississippi State to 36%, and also did a great job on Josh Hubbard, had 38 points in the first matchup in Starkville, just 6 in the first half, but you know that that's where Chris Jans wants to go, to their all-SEC point guard, Josh Hubbard, a guy that is capable of getting hot quick.
Alabama with possession first to begin half number 2. Cliff, LeBaron, Chris, Mark, and Grant, your 5 to start half number 2. Again, Bama with the ball, front court to our right this time. Sears with it, taking it to the timeline far side. Nate Oates calling the play. Sears giving it to Youngblood, far side, all alone three, and that one hits off the front iron, no good. State will bring it the other direction.
I think he was shocked nobody guarded him. He was 4 for 5, and he was wide open.
Harris misses a three, rebounded by Amori, and Bama will come the other way. Phylon to Sears between the circles. Mark driving, stopping, throws it into the low post, or tried to. It was knocked out of bounds, though, by Mississippi State.
Mark Sears with a great first half. 12 points, 5 assists, tried to get his 6th assist. Sneaking it inside to Cliff Amori, but gets knocked away out of bounds.
Bama will inbound it from the baseline. Just to the left of the basket. Phylon will be tasked with inbounding it after they wipe up some moisture on the floor. Inbounds goes in the corner, Youngblood. Back to Phylon on the wing. Phylon tried to force a pass to Nelson. It was stolen by State. They'll drive in, they'll lay it up, they'll miss. And then the rebound's batted around and controlled by Nelson for the Tide. No harm, no bucket, thankfully, after the turnover by Bama. Tide goes inside to Nelson, lost it, saved it, threw it away off of a State player out of bounds. Here's an idea. Y'all both go to the locker rooms and we'll come back out and start over again.
Well, it's good to be up 20 plus in this one, as Alabama turned it over and should have had a bucket scored against them. Mississippi State has struggled shooting the ball against this Alabama defense. That wasn't great defense, just a missed layup and missed putback. Alabama fortunate on that possession.
Sears with it on the near wing, drives into the lane, stops, backs it out to Phylon on the wing, back to Mark. 6 to shoot. Down to Cliff in the post, lays it up and got it to go. Rattled it in for the bucket, and Amori with a nice 2 right there.
Yeah, that's one of his first post-ups in an Alabama uniform, late shot clock situation. He looked good doing it.
Dogs answer on the other end with a post move of their own. Murphy able to get it to drop. He now has 8 points. Sears for 3 near side. That's way off the mark, but he goes right to Youngblood, who had his shot attempt blocked. Saved by Nelson, but controlled by Mississippi State. Dogs run the other way. Hubbard finds a Trailer Murphy. He throws it down. 55-31, Alabama with the lead. Even though they've cooled off considerably, that would have had to have happened as Sears gets fouled, trying to drive left side. Whistled on Claudell Harris Jr.
Alabama with a slow start on the offensive end, just 1 for 4. Not handling the ball quite as well as they did the first 20 minutes, but you knew that Mississippi State going into halftime was going to pick it up on the defensive end, and that looks to be the case.
Bama looking to inbound it, does. Amori back to Sears. Mark on the wing, gives it over near side Nelson. Going to the rack. Able to finish for another big slam. Grant with 4, both on thunderous dunks.
Nobody picked him up. Aggressive move and another throwdown for Grant.
State goes inside, lays it up for 2. Melendez a nice feed to Harris, who lays it in. Here's Sears with the basketball. Out to Nelson, back to Mark. Thought about a 3, now will drive. Gets to the rim, off the glass and in. 59-33, Bama with 17:30 to go. State on the far wing, 3 is up and missed. Rebounded on the weak side by Murphy for Mississippi State. Murphy dribbles to the top of the arc, hands it off. Melendez going to his left, stops in the lane, needs help, gives it over to Murphy about 12 feet out, goes in the lane, spins left, spins right, and scores off the glass.
Pretty good defense by Cliff Amori, but Murphy able to hit a high degree of difficulty shot at the rim.
Holloway, now Sears. So good when he's so good. 17 for Mark Sears. Bama takes it away. Nelson giving it off to Mark, and a foul in the backcourt is going to be whistled on Matthews.
That's a good foul by Matthews, because Alabama had numbers. You had the ball in the hands of the guy that's making plays everywhere. Mark Sears knocking down 3s, taking it to the basket. Nice job defensively, got a deflection that started the Alabama break. And after a little bit of a slow start here in the second half, Alabama getting it going on both ends.
Mark Sears and Chris Youngblood having some fun. They're talking about something to each other. Maybe trying to figure out which one's the hottest in this game. Mark with 17, Youngblood with 16. Sears with the basketball, giving it off to Holloway, now to Sears. He'll drive right, he'll stop, throws a bounce pass to Nelson, back to Sears. Driving, dishing, Holloway for three. Too strong, rebound on the near side by Kugel, and State will come the other direction. They went zone that time, didn't they, BP?
And they did to end the half. Alabama typically scores out of it. Got a great look, just couldn't knock it down.
Hubbard misses the fall-away jumper. Rebound batted around, picked up by Moe. Now Mark will bring it ahead. Mark leaving it for Holloway. Thought about a three. Instead, will back it out himself. Feeds it to Youngblood. His turn. Too strong off the back iron. Rebound run down by Nelson. To Sears. To Holloway. Over to Youngblood. He'll let it go again. He'll make it this time.
Don't want to give him two opportunities. Alabama gets the offensive rebound, the unselfish play by Aiden Holloway. He had a shot but recognized Chris Youngblood all by himself on the right wing, and he knocks down another three.
Bama by 30 with 15:36 to go. State working it inside, spinning, shooting, missing, rebound tip twice. Kugel able to save it. Looking for help, finds it. They get it to Melendez near wing. Melendez on the drive, in the lane, off the glass, no good. Rebounded Nelson, and Bama runs the other way. Here's Sears front court. Mark driving right, spinning away from trouble. Off of a screen, Mark will go down the lane. He will have it blocked out of bounds. Murphy, an emphatic swat of that one, but everything else that's being done emphatically is being done by the Crimson Tide. 15:09 to play, and it's all Crimson. 65-35 our score on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime, but the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Tonight's game is brought to you by C Spire. C Spire is proud to support the continued growth in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham and is a proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. This is fun. Bama up 30, 65-35, 15:09 to go in the ball game, making Evan Williams Bourbon part of your game day traditions is a slam dunk. Visit evanwilliams.com to find a bottle near you. Evan Williams, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky. Think wisely, drink wisely, and Roll Tide as we go to Roll Tide. Roger Hoover.
Yeah, and right now the coaching staff's talking about defensive intensity with Mississippi State, I believe, scoring 8 to begin the first half, so a little or second half to begin this period, so a little too much there according to the coaching staff. Intensity on the boards as well, really being talked about right now by Nate Oates as he just sat down with the clipboard talking about the rebounding. We are going to see Aiden Sherrill coming in for some valuable minutes as well, Brian, coming up at this next stretch.
Yeah, Alabama obviously playing great against a good Mississippi State team. This is a team that is going to have a chance to make it the second weekend, if not further, the NCAA tournament, especially when they're defending and Josh Hubbard is playing the way that he's capable. Alabama's done a great job defensively against Mississippi State, and Josh Hubbard in particular is why they're up 30. But these are times that Alabama, over the course of the season, as good as they've been, and right now projected to be a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, these are areas that Alabama has let up, and they've lost focus, and they've not continued to put the pedal down when they're up big. So continue to play well, especially on the defensive end. This has been one of Alabama's best defensive performances that we've seen in a long time. We saw it against Kentucky, and we've seen it even better here tonight against Mississippi State, and that is the type of momentum that you need going into the final stretch of the season with what looms ahead for Alabama. Top 5 team in Tennessee on Saturday, number 2 Florida on Wednesday next week, and then of course the regular season finale on the road against number 1 Auburn. It does not get easier, but if Bama plays like this, they're going to give themselves a chance in all of them.
Assistant coach Ryan Pannone just went and said something to Aiden Sherrill, and I think we got a chance to see some quality minutes from him. We would have seen a dunk from him if Jaron Stevenson had seen him earlier, or the second time that he came open on that inbounds play. Now Bama works it to Holloway between the circles. Holloway looking low, nothing there. Has it, feeds it near side. Stevenson for 3. So everybody else is having fun. Why not try it? Another bank first 3 for Alabama, the 14th on 27 attempts tonight.
Great look. Alabama goes to Jaron Stevenson. Alabama playing with so much confidence on the offensive end, taking care of it and knocking down shots.
Hubbard, a rare open look, but able to knock it down. Stevenson tried to get there, but was just a split second late. Here's Philon for Alabama. Working between the rings, goes to his left, goes now to his right. Kicks it in the corner to Sherrill, who hands it to Holloway. Holloway back out high. Philon, a deep 3. That one's no good. Rebound tip, fought forward. Stevenson tried to save it, but it's knocked away and stolen by State. They'll work it ahead, near side. Hubbard again for 3. That one's too strong. Rebound tip by Sherrill, but controlled by Matthews of State. To Kugel, around they go to Hubbard. Hubbard working away from traffic. To Kugel, top of the arc for 3, no good. Rebound claimed by Sherrill. He'll hand it off to Philon, who brings it front court. Bama 68, State 38. Philon on the drive for the tie. Kicks it in the corner. Stevenson, another 3, another make, another bank first 3, and they're getting their money's worth tonight, folks. That is now the 15th on 29. Bank first 3-pointers.
LeBaron Philon getting in the lane, setting up teammates. We saw Mark Sears do it in the first half. Right now it's LeBaron Philon handling the ball, making plays.
Bounce pass goes inside to Nwoko into the corner. They'll try a 3, and knocking it home was Jones for State. 71-41 Bama. Holloway, shake and bake move, driving the lane, lost it on the way up, got fouled, and he will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Well, it's pretty nice when you look up after Mississippi State's knocked down a couple threes on 2 out of the last 3 possessions, and they've now cut it to 30. Alabama in great shape here at home, playing well, knocking down shots, but getting it done on the defensive end. And like Roger talked about after that last break, Nate Oates, his staff, talking to his team about continuing to play that way on the defensive end, because they're going to have this type of performance on the road in Knoxville on Saturday to win a top 5 game on the road against a tough team. The toughness of Mississippi State should help prepare you for what lies ahead. Alabama hasn't played Tennessee this year, only 1 time. It'll be in Knoxville. And not that you're looking ahead quite yet, but like we said in Austin, Texas a couple weeks ago when Alabama was up big, you might want to save some of these threes. Alabama did not shoot it well in the next game against Auburn.
Hubbard will try a deep 3 off the bounce, no good. Rebound tipped into the corner, run down by State. Melendez, corner 3 ball, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds off the face of Mo Diabate, and possession will stay with the Bulldogs. He was deflected, it popped him right in the chin and goes out of bounds. Here comes Cliff Amori in. Mohamed Diabate will sit down for the Crimson Tide. You mentioned Tennessee. They lead LSU by 7 in Baton Rouge with 10:50 remaining in the second half. Driving in and scoring off the window is Kugel, excuse me. And now it's a 30-point game again. Bama the commanding lead. Holloway way outside, couldn't get it to go, and the rebound goes out of bounds, such last by Mississippi State. A lot of players in the country, you go say, take a step in. Aiden, you go, shoot it again the next time you get it there.
Yeah, don't hesitate. Aiden Holloway had an Alabama career high of 3-pointers attempted in the last game against Kentucky. Nate Oates in his press conference said he was upset with him. He passed up a couple of open shots, should have shot it more.
Kugel off the bounce, tries the three, wouldn't go. They'll call a foul on Holloway, and that will be 3 shots upcoming. Here's another luxury Nate Oates has. As good as Aiden Holloway has been and a lot of other guys have been, when you make a mistake on the defensive end, he can pull you and not hesitate. Being up 30 helps, but depth helps as well.
Well, he's going to coach his guys hard, and we've seen that this year with preseason All-American and preseason SEC Player of the Year Mark Sears, one of the best players in program history, didn't play in the second half against LSU. And what did Mark do? He responded with the best play of his career in recent games. 35 points in the last 2. He had 65 combined, 35 points at Missouri, 30 against Kentucky on Saturday. And right now, 17 in this one. But he's doing it on both ends of the floor, and love to see these guys respond to hard coaching. He gives his guys so much freedom on the offensive end, but demands so much out of them, and I love it when they respond, which Mark almost always does.
Kugel makes 2 out of 3. Bama comes the other way. Cliff in the paint, throws it over to Mark, fakes a pass, now gives it off. They get into the corner. Youngblood for 3, no good, and a rebounding foul is going to be called on Mississippi State. 12:07 remains. It's 73-45. Alabama with the 28-point lead. 33 has been the biggest margin for Bama in this one. That was about a minute and a half ago. Fine to inbound it for the baseline. Looking to get it in low. Kent throws it in the corner, but it's deflected out of bounds by Mississippi State. They'll try to inbound it once again. Youngblood gets it into Cliff. They double team him. He dribbles away from it. Had it poked away. Guess what? Out of bounds. Touched last by Mississippi State.
Mississippi State definitely hasn't quit. And be shocked if they did. They're getting after it on the defensive end. Alabama's got to be strong with the ball.
Bama will inbound it to Cliff. That's a good idea. Throw it up where he can get it. Now here's Youngblood. He'll try a 3. That's a good idea. Throw it to him where he can shoot it, and he makes another bank first 3 for Youngblood. Now 22 points on 6 of 10 from 3.
That possession took a while. A couple of times Mississippi State knocked it out of bounds, but ultimately got what you want, a Chris Youngblood wide open 3.
Youngblood rebounds the miss by State. Bama runs the other way with Sears on the wing. Gets it into the paint, throws a lob. It hits the rim, and State will get it, come the other direction. Warren tried to leave it for a teammate, but it was stolen by Sears. Now to Philon, to Mark. Let it go, baby. Too strong there. And the rebound's tipped, fought for, saved by the Tide. It'll be Sears again. He missed another one. Let's get him one more. Oh, can't. It's controlled by Mississippi State.
Love the looks. A miss does not deter him. Keep shooting good shots.
Ball thrown up near the rim, deflected away by Cliff. The Tide drives in. Youngblood gets hacked on his way to the basket, and the Tide will have the ball when we come back. 10:57 remains. 76-45 is our score. The Tide rolling it home here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast.
Hey, Bama fans. Tuscaloosa Drug Company is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Athletics. We've been serving our community and the University Athletic Department for over a decade. There are 3 locations in the Tuscaloosa and Northport area to serve you. We understand the importance of prompt and efficient service. That's why we strive to provide service that you can rely on, where we know you by name. The next time you have a medication need, call Who the Tide Calls. Tuscaloosa Drug.
.57 to go in Tuscaloosa. Bama 76, Mississippi State 45. Here's an important reminder to all Bama fans. Stay up to date with all recommended vaccinations. Flu season is here, so don't wait. Vaccinate. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM to learn more. Roger Hoover, what's the message in the Battle Huddle when Bama's up 31?
Well, I don't think in the huddle they know Alabama's up 31. I mean, it still seems like a 0-0 score the way the coaching staff's talking about defensive intensity, wanting to see a little bit more from the Crimson Tide moving forward. So the main message is talking about the free throws that are coming up, and then after that, Bryan, find a way to string together some stuff. So I know we're getting into Coach Saban, always coaching through the process type territory, but this is the approach Alabama has to have.
Yeah, and listen, if we're going to talk about Coach Saban, you got to play to a standard, and it doesn't matter if it's practice, games, scoreboard, you play a certain way, and Nate Oates wants his team to play like this more often and more consistently, especially on the defensive end. You can't expect to shoot it the way Alabama has each and every night. The Tide 16 for 34 from the three-point line, 47%, but when you have great shooters that get good looks, you're going to have nights like this. But what he wants to see is the defense continue to be at a high level, which it has throughout this game, and don't let up just because the game is out of hand. Alabama has put together a great 30 or so minutes in this game, but want to continue that. This team needs momentum, maybe a little swagger going into the final stretch of the season, trying to compete for an SEC regular season title, a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament.
I love the leadership and the continuity this team seems to have growing even more. We don't have, unfortunately, Houston Millette able to go for us. Redshirting this year, hopefully going to be able to redshirt as he's only seen limited action. But he's coaching during timeouts and talking with the assistants before he talks to players. Chris Youngblood, who's a player on the floor after that last mistake that was made by Aiden Holloway, before Nate Oates could get hold of him, Chris was talking to him in a teaching moment. These are veteran guys. We got a bunch of them. Latrell Reitzel, another one on the bench. Guys that are veterans that are helping these younger guys who are ultra talented understand what it takes to play at this level and to win at a championship level as well.
Well, when you look at this Alabama team, you've got 4 starters that are fifth-year seniors, and it's an old team that's obviously very talented. You've got a nice mix of some talented freshmen and some transfers, but you look at the top of college basketball, on top of this league, Auburn's one of the oldest teams in the country. And Alabama's a lot like that, and you see that leadership so important this time of the year as you're trying to compete for a championship.
2 free throws good. Youngblood knocking him down. He has got 24 on the night for the Crimson Tide. Bama leads at 78-45 with 10:50 to go. Kugel working left side, almost fell, kept his feet, threw it over onto the right wing to Warren. Into the corner they go to Kugel again. Throws a pass at the feet of a player and up 30. Diving on the floor is Youngblood. They're going to call a foul, though, on Chris, I believe, coming over the back of Jones. But what an unbelievable effort on the part of Chris Youngblood.
You are exactly right. Up huge in this game. And Chris Youngblood, the veteran 5th-year senior from Tuscaloosa, comes out of nowhere, dives for the loose ball. Love the hustle in this situation. That is leadership. Yes, he's played extremely well, shot it great, 24 points, but that may be the play of the night from Chris Youngblood.
33-point lead, 10.5 to go, and he's diving on the floor for a loose ball at center court. Inside, Matthews with it, spinning, trying to dump it off, does to Nwoko. Nwoko trying to spin away from Nelson. Does. Beautiful move to the baseline, able to get the jump hook to drop, and it cuts Bama's lead to 31. Holloway for three, too strong, rebounded by Sears, takes it to the far wing. He misses, rebound knocked out of bounds, such last by Mississippi State. May have been a foul in the process. There was on State's Sean Jones Jr.
Nice job by Chris Youngblood. That's the second time that he's gotten fouled, trying to get an offensive rebound, had great position. Mississippi State fouls him. Alabama gets it back. Not shooting quite yet. 16 fouls, so next foul against Mississippi State, Alabama will be shooting the rest of the way.
Holloway out, Phylon in to replace him for Alabama. Aiden with 5 points in the ball game in 17 minutes. Phylon looking, beats the count, getting it to Nelson. Hands it off to Sears. Mark driving down the lane, whips a pass into the corner. Stevenson another three, and he's made 3 in a row here in the second half.
LeBaron Phylon set him up on a couple of open threes. This time, Mark Sears.
Hubbard answering, though, on the other end with a 3 of his own. Alabama with 17 bank first threes on 37 tries. Sears looking, gives it off. Phylon driving, hangs in the air and gets it to drop for 2.
What a beautiful move by LeBaron Phylon. Shot he hit with consistency earlier in the year, and he's starting to knock it down.
Hubbard misses the 3. They throw it back to him. He's all alone, and he ain't missing 2 in a row. Not against us. Timeout, Nate Oates, and somebody might get their feelings hurt. At a minimum. 9:13 to play when we come back. 83-53. Alabama up big, but Nate Oates coaching them to the bitter end here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's huddle up and make things happen with the only cards for T-Town. The University of Alabama Regions Visa Debit Card and Prepaid Regions Now Card. They're a win for your wallet and a big roll tide, whether you're purchasing stuff for game day or every day. Want to go all in on confidently showing your Tide pride? Order your card now at regions.com/GoBama. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees apply.
Tide fans, Golden Flake Snacks have been a proud partner of the Tide family for 67 years. The South's original potato chip, Golden Flake Snacks, are delicious fan favorites because they're crafted from traditional Southern recipes. From crispy, perfectly flavored potato chips to light and airy pork rinds and fluffy, cheesy cheese puffs, Golden Flake Snacks are a winning combination with Alabama basketball. Share Golden Flake Snacks with your Tide family and friends. Simple, Southern goodness. That's Golden Flake.
Bama's up 30, 83-53 over Mississippi State, 9:13 to go in the ball game. ATIC says thank you to all ticket-holding Crimson Tide fans. Visit AAATix.com to find your tickets. AAA Tix, a proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. Roger Hoover, I dare say, defending Josh Hubbard might have come up in that huddle.
Yeah, that was the first thing Nate Oates said to the team by giving him 3 open looks at a three-pointer. Certainly not something Alabama wants to see either in that last stretch or moving forward. So, again, defensive intensity continues to be the message for the coaching staff. And he said this last time, we're not playing to the scoreboard. We're playing to a different standard as Alabama tries to hold Mississippi State offensively in the second half. And, again, not play to the scoreboard is the key message. And also defend Hubbard is going to be key.
Yeah, Alabama wants to finish strong on both ends of the floor, especially on the defensive end. But what a performance from Mark Sears. 17 points, 9 assists. Mark, number 2 in the SEC in assists, maybe number 1 if he keeps it up tonight. Chris Youngblood with another great game against Mississippi State. 6 for 10 from beyond the arc. He's got 24 points, had 23 in the first matchup in Starkville. He is playing well on both ends of the floor. Love the hustle play before the timeout. Loose ball. Alabama's up 30-plus in this game. Dives on the floor for the loose ball. Doesn't get it, but love the fact that he's continuing to play on the defensive end, regardless of the score. That's the type of leadership that Nate Oates likes from these veterans. He's getting it from Chris Youngblood, Mark Sears. Cliff Amore has also played well defensively, rebounding the ball, and he's been much better late in the season. That's a great sign for Alabama to have Big Cliff playing at a high level. He's playing his best basketball in an Alabama uniform as of late. Good news for the Crimson Tide, especially on the defensive end.
Nelson Diabate, Philon, Sears, and Jaron Stevenson, the five on the floor for the Crimson Tide. Inbounds pass goes to LeBaron in the backcourt. He'll run it front court, setting up against State's 2-3 zone. Bounce pass to Diabate on the right wing. Mo will pivot. He'll look. He'll kick it to LeBaron in the corner. Thought about a three. Instead, he'll bring it out, gives it off to Grant. Back to LeBaron. Fires it over to Mark. One more to Stevenson. They find him. Lost it, got it back. Shot clock at 6. Jaron on the drive. Into the paint, kicks it out. LeBaron for 3. Wouldn't go. Rebound tip, fought for, and touched last by the Crimson Tide. He was shooting it well earlier in the year from 3. He has made 1 out of 4 in this one.
That was a good look. That's one of the few times when Mississippi State, or anybody's gone zone for that matter, that Alabama didn't get a pretty quick, wide-open 3.
Lindez with the basketball, hands it off to Matthews. Top of the arc to Murphy. He'll drive, he'll spin again. He'll stop, he'll look. He'll have it knocked away. A scramble and picked up by Murphy. 7 on the shot clock. 6, a runner is up, and a thrower off the glass and in. I'm not sure it was a shot as much as it was a heave.
Mississippi State shot under 40%, but they've had several that didn't look good that the result was off the glass and in.
Not enough, though, as Bama leads at 83-55. Nelson driving baseline. Reverse layup. Got it to go with a move. Tight window there for Grant, but got it to drop. And Alabama leads it 85-55 with 7:48 remaining.
Grant's had a couple big dunks in this one. Used the English off the glass. Beautiful move from Grant.
They just called an and 1 on a foul that occurred about 15 feet away. We'll see if they did indeed call it that or not when we come back. It was Hubbard that got fouled. 7:46 left to go when we come back. At the moment, Bama leads at 85-55 on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live Courtside Cam, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus Hey Coach. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes and coaches that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Alabama Crimson Tide.
When the game goes into overtime, but the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
.46 to go in the ball game. Bama's still up 30, 85-55 over Mississippi State. The best move of the game is presented by Old Dominion Freight Line. Old Dominion Freight Line works hard to be the best in the game and is a proud partner of the Crimson Tide. BP, you do the honors. Best move of the game.
Alabama's guards are getting in the lane, especially here in the second half. Mark Sears setting up teammates. He and LeBaron Philon a combined 15 assists, and Alabama right now looking good, taking care of the ball, getting in the lane, setting up open teammates. A big reason why Bama's made 17 threes in this game is the playmaking ability of Mark Sears, LeBaron Philon, Aiden Holloway, and Chris Youngblood. Alabama's guards are doing a great job getting the ball inside.
Always a great move to go across the way to Roger Hoover.
Yeah, to continue to talk about defensive intensity, coaching staff wants to see more over this next 7 minutes, 46 seconds, regardless of the score. Coach Pannone also using the iPad in a really interactive way to show the few things to the Crimson Tide offensively, try and create some more opportunities, not just inside the paint, but also, Bryan, outside the arc.
He wants this team to guard the way they have, and right now Mississippi State's gotten hot, making 4 out of the last 5. And listen, we all know how this game is going to end up. It's going to be a win for Alabama, loss for Mississippi State, but he wants this team to play a certain way, especially on the defensive end. And with as good as Alabama is offensively, the firepower that they have, the fastest team in the country, the leading scoring team in the country, a team that can get hot at any time from the three-point line, and when they're not hot, they offensive rebound about as well as anybody in the country. So offensively, this is, if not the best, one of the best teams in college basketball. To win an SEC title, whether it's in the regular season or the tournament, or make a run to the Final Four and compete for a national championship, the question is, how good is this team going to be on the defensive end? And this Alabama has been up and down over the course of the season on that end of the floor. But what I've seen the last 2 games is encouraging. This team is getting better at the right time on the defensive end.
Hubbard inbounded from the baseline for Mississippi State to the right of his own basket. Looking low, nothing there. Throws it out to Murphy. Murphy will pivot, takes a dribble towards the wing. Now goes to the baseline, spins in the lane, a bounce pass knocked away by Nelson. Picked up by Sears, Alabama comes the other way. Mark hesitates, stops, keeps the dribble alive, then picks it up as Hubbard hacked him. Nate Oates was wondering how many times he was going to have to get hit before the whistle was actually blown, but Doug Sermons did make the call.
I think Nate Oates may have helped get that call as it was right in front of him. And he let the official know that that was definitely a foul. And mentioned single bonus. It'll be Mark Sears at the line for a 1-and-1.
The lefty shooting 1 plus the bonus and hitting the first free throw. Alabama has attempted 11 free throws. Now 12, and they have made 12 free throws.
Got the friendly roll when you're a good shooter. It's amazing how that happens. The soft touch, and it goes down for Mark.
Matthews with it, far wing, gives it off to Hubbard. Fakes a 3, now goes left, shoots a 3 again. Missed it this time. Rebound tipped into the hands of Sears. Here comes Mark running the other way. Over to Youngblood. It is absolutely insane what he and Mark are doing tonight. 27 for Youngblood, 19 for Mark, and the Tide continues to roll on. That is a Bama career best for Chris Youngblood at 27.
And Chris Youngblood's 14th made 3 against Mississippi State in 2 games.
Hubbard fouled by Philon.
Youngblood 7 for 13 from deep here tonight, with 7 for 10 in Starkville. That would, a little more drama late in that one. Alabama fortunate to get the win after a career night from Josh Hubbard. Alabama's done a better job throughout this game. Not quite as good lately against Hubbard, but this one well in hand for a long time.
Hubbard looking to trigger it in, throws it way outside. They go to Matthews now, top of the arc. Matthews drives right, stops at the elbow, throws a bounce pass, and a foul's going to be called on Nelson as Grant reached in on Murphy, who is the intended recipient of that bounce pass.
Love the defensive effort from Grant Nelson. Not one away on the previous possession. This time gets called for the foul. I thought he made the right play. A little bit of contact, and State gets it back.
Dogs inbounding it, almost throw it away. They throw it to the back court where it's run down. And bringing it back front court will be Harris. Harris driving right, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Clifford Amore.
Mississippi State was nowhere near the bonus when this possession started. All of a sudden, one away from shooting free throws.
.634 remains. Alabama enjoying a 90-55 win over the Bulldogs. State, I said win, it's a lead. It's going to be a win. It's just a lead at the moment. Harris driving, stopping, spinning, handing it off. They'll drive, they'll dish. Into the corner they go. Matthews for three. That's no good. Rebound tipped into the hands of Murphy, and a foul's called on Alabama. That on Amore? I believe so.
They've had some long possessions. I thought Aiden Holloway got him across the arm, but it may have been Cliff Amore, both of those guys trying to defend Murphy.
Yeah.
Had some long possessions here. This game well in hand. If it was high school basketball, we'd have a hot clock right now.
Oh, yeah.
Be able to get out of here. We grab a late dinner at least. That's my plans. I've been kind of hungry. These late games are tough.
Oh, they did call the foul on Holloway, by the way, as the two free throws are good, both by Murphy. Great call behind us.
He hasn't eaten either.
Yeah, neither either. Here's Bama going to Sears. Top of the arc, three, no good. Rebound tip twice, grabbed by Cliff, and he lays it in for two.
That type of play is making Alabama a better team late in the season. Cliff Amore playing his best basketball, rebounding the ball at a high level.
Melendez for three, short. Rebound claimed by State as they threw Nelson to the deck. They work it to Hubbard. One more left side to Harris for three. That's no good. Rebound to Melendez on the long second try. Melendez right wing. Short again. Rebound Melendez again. Goes in. And a foul's going to be called on Clifford Amore.
Alabama's been dominating this game, rebounding the ball, and all of a sudden, Mississippi State's catching up. Getting on the offensive glass, several offensive rebounds the last couple of possessions. Listen, they're taking some tough, deep threes, long rebounds. Alabama not able to corral them. NATO's not happy with that, but because of time and score, Mississippi State having to get up some threes, and to their credit, they're running down some long rebounds.
Youngblood and Amore will sit down. Aiden Sherrill coming in for the Tide. And I think it's Philon that came in as well for Alabama. Melendez hit the first free throw. His second one is upcoming. And that one's good also.
Mississippi State hasn't had a field goal. There was 3 minutes. They've missed 5 in a row, but they've gotten them all back. They've gone to the line and converted.
Philon driving, dishing in the corner. Sherrill for three. Too strong. Rebound tip, fought for and controlled by State. Dogs will push it ahead. New man in the ball game, Martavius Russell. Now it'll be Hubbard on the drive. Throws the lob that was too high. And here's Bama running the other way. Philon sets up near wing three. Bottom. That one looked good.
Aiden Holloway to LeBaron Philon playing well. Thought he might give it back to Aiden Holloway. Both guys were open. Bama getting out and running in transition.
Tide leading it by 36. 95-59. Dogs work it into the low post. Backing down to Nwoko. Into the paint against Sherrill. Spins, blocked, but he got him on the arm. 4:39 to go. A lot of the faithful that were here, and there were a bunch of them, by the way, they had an opportunity to head for the exits early when Bama had this one very much in command.
Hard to believe we only have one more home game. Alabama, to my knowledge, the first time to sell out every SEC home game in school history. They've all been sellouts. I think all but one game this year has been a sellout. The crowds have been absolutely incredible tonight. Similar case, just this one well in hand. Don't mind those folks heading home a little bit early after watching a dominating performance by Alabama.
Iwoko makes 1 of 2 to make it 95-50. Nelson with the basketball to Phylon. Tried to fire a pass to Holloway. It's deflected and stolen by State. Hubbard leaves it for Melendez on the left wing. Throws it into the low post, and a foul's going to be called on Nelson. Sending Iwoko back to the line.
Why do you call that? I mean, not a lot of contact.
He did lose possession.
Well, no, he had possession.
No, I'm saying they didn't lose.
He didn't lose.
Possession.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Now, if there was a little bit of contact that caused him to lose possession, I understand the call, but that one just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But it'll be State back at the line.
Iwoko hits the first. He'll have another tryout coming. We owe you a station ID, and we'll take it at our next available opportunity.
But you know what we haven't had? Can I go glass half full? We have not had an official review.
Free throw miss. Bama comes the other way. Oh, there's an opportunity.
No.
That could have been contact above the shoulders, Bryan.
This might be the first game in college basketball this year that there hadn't been, I don't know, average about 10 per game.
Quite a bit.
Seemingly.
Foul called. Sears will go to the line.
What are the chances we get an official review the last 4:19 of this one?
I ain't gonna risk it.
Yeah.
After Sears' first free throw, we'll take that station ID. Of course, Stipe breaks his wrist over here trying to get me to take one. First one's up, and it's no good. It's first miss of the night. It was a 1-and-1. Couldn't take it. So hang on, Tom. Hubbard with it. Hubbard fakes the three, drives, shoots a 12-footer, too strong. Rebounded by the Dogs, spinning hook shot, no good by Iwoko, cleared by Mo. Here comes Mark, and a foul, and by golly, let's pause 10 seconds. For station identification, this is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Timeout on the floor, 4 minutes to go. Bama 95, Mississippi State 61. When we come back on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Nobody beats me, Mark Sears, on the court, and nobody beats Cook's Pest Control when it comes to superior protection against unwanted pests and termites. Cook's knowledgeable and courteous technicians are expertly trained to get the job done right. Guaranteed. Call Cooks today for your free quote or to schedule a free on-site inspection. Roll Tide.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
At Red Diamond, we know that there's simply nothing better than the perfect sip of fresh brewed iced tea. And we've been working hard to make sure choosing Red Diamond is always easy, with only simple ingredients: water, tea leaves, and pure cane sugar, or no sugar. We make sure our tea tastes like, well, tea. Stop by your local cooler and pick up a gallon for a perfect sip today. Red Diamond. Perfect's not easy.
Is brought to you by C Spire. C Spire is proud to support the continued growth in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. It's a proud sponsor of the University of Alabama as well. Bama's up 34, 95-61 over Mississippi State. 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Be sure to stay tuned after the game for the Regions postgame show with Bama coach Nate Oates. And don't forget, you can get your University of Alabama Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today. Tom Stipe, Chris Stewart, Bryan, Passink, and across the way we have Roger Hoover.
First thing Nate Oates said to the Crimson Tide, that was better. So he liked a lot of things that he just saw a moment ago from Alabama, both offensively and defensively. really the challenge to this group is to keep Mississippi State under 70 points for this ball game. So let's monitor that. 95-61 Crimson Tide in front with still 4 minutes to go. But again, Alabama trying to close out this game the right way, so still playing with intensity, going hard for the rebounds. Another message from the coaching staff. But Bryan, let's see if we can keep Mississippi State under 70, get you out of here so you can grab some food.
If Alabama continues their field goal percentage defense, then that could be the case. They've missed their last 7 shots, just 2 for their last 10, and hasn't had a field goal in over 4 minutes. Alabama has done a great job on both ends of the floor, also sharing the basketball. Bama's made 32 field goals, 25 assists on those 32 made shots, and just 11 turnovers. That is a great assist to turnover ratio, 25-11. And this is a Mississippi State team that creates turnovers, number 2 in the SEC in steals. Alabama has done a good job taking care of the ball, finding open teammates. They've shared it, they played unselfishly, and they've knocked them down.
Mark Sears at the stripe. 19 points for Mark, 10 assists, so another double-double for him. He's also had 3 rebounds, 3 steals. Give him 20 on the night, as the first one's good. And if he'll make this second one, then Jaron Stevenson will check in to replace him. He does, and he will. And those that are left need to be giving him a good round of applause. You're only going to get to do it in this building one more time. And that's going to be next week when Florida comes to town. Hubbard bringing it ahead for State as Bama leads it 97-61. Murphy on the wing, driving in the lane, puts it up, got it to go over Sherrill. Keyshawn Murphy with a bucket. He now has 16. Holloway driving, puts it up high off the glass and in. What a beautiful move to give Bama 99 on the night.
He leads the SEC in three-point percentage, but one of the most improved players in this league taking the ball to the basket.
State driving, missing the little runner was Matthews, and the rebound control by Bama was actually Murphy that missed it. Tide trying to break the century mark again. Holloway with it. Looking into the low post, and a hold is going to be called on the Dogs and Russell, as Sherrill will be the man going to the free throw line.
That is not an easy pass from the top of the key to the low block, but Aiden Holloway had enough on that bounce pass to get it to Aiden Sherrill. He's able to hold off the defender, take the foul, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Bama trying to get to the century mark for the 7th time this year. And they won't right there as Sherrill misses the first. We've had high 90s a few times. And we're still at 99 as both free throws are missed by the freshman, and with 3:07 to go, State will come the other way. Hubbard driving, getting away with a push-off, shooting and missing, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 shots.
The officials got the second foul. Should have been a push-off.
He pushed off and in the process walked, and they didn't call either one of those.
And then the foul was the right call.
Yeah.
And it'll be Hubbard at the line for 2. He was so good in the first matchup against Alabama in Starkville. That one came down to the wire. Mississippi State needed every one of his 38 points. Actually needed a couple more. Bama fortunate to get the victory on the road. This one has been well in hand since before halftime. An impressive performance against a good Mississippi State team. Let's not forget, this is a top 25 team Alabama's doing this to.
Here comes the Tide the other way. It is Phylon taking it to the wing. Keeping the dribble alive with 2:50 to go. Phylon crossing over, going down the lane, laying it up, and couldn't get the layup to go. And I don't know why my voice changed. It's 2:40 to go. Here's Hubbard on the drive into the lane. Stops, looks, pump fake twice. Shot with the left hand, got it to go. Well, he's padding his stats, but his team is still down 32. Holloway in the corner to Sherrill to Holloway. Holloway near side for three. There we go. Fitting, isn't it? That's how we get to the century mark. 102-67, a three from the wing, no good. The putback is, however, by Melendez. Hustling in after Harris missed from the right wing.
Alabama with 20 made threes in this game. This one, an old school three-point play by Mo Diabate. Maybe time to start saving some of those threes for Saturday in Knoxville, but what a performance by Alabama in so many ways, but especially from the three-point line. 20 for 43 on the night from deep.
14 of 17 from the free throw line, and it was perfect until about 4 free throw attempts ago. We've missed 3 of the last 4, I believe, or 3 of our last 6. Diabate hits the free throw, and he'll exit. And here's Max Skarnowski in to replace him. Great effort from Mo Diabate. 10 points, 11 boards in just 19 minutes of action. Skarnowski, the senior for the Crimson Tide. Driving again is Hubbard, and he'll lay it in for 2. 105-71 Bama. Here's Philon trying to work away from the defender. They fired in the corner to Stevenson. He'll drive, had it stripped. Scrambling, picking it up will be Sherrill to Philon. Looking near side to Max. Thought about a 3. He'll drive, he'll look, he'll feed it over to Philon. Philon to Holloway. Bottom.
Telling you, we need to save a few of those for Saturday. Alabama with their 21st made 3. Great ball movement. Aiden Holloway in rhythm knocks it down.
Hubbard throws up a brick. If I was his teammate, I'm not real sure I'd be fired up about him. Here's Holloway again with 1:06 to go. They're trying to run something from Max. He'll set a screen. They'll throw it to him. He'll drive, pump fake, shot, blocked. Here comes State the other way with Murphy going down the lane. Hands it off, and they'll slam it in for 2. Martavius Russell getting the bucket. 108-73 Bama. 48 seconds remaining.
And Holloway running offense, trying to get the ball to Max.
Sherrill for 3. It's another one. 22 of 45 from 3. Bank first, and then some.
Aiden Sherrill been a little bit cold from the three-point line in this game. One of the only Alabama players that has, and he finally knocks one down.
Hubbard misses the 3. Final 30 seconds, and Hubbard's not even going to run to the other end of the floor. Philon will dribble it out. Final 15 seconds of this ball game. The Tide will not try another one. 4 seconds, 3, 2, and 1, and Lord help, strike up the band. Was awfully popular. A 3-rammer jammer night ain't bad either. 111-73 is your final. The Tide rolls to another win. Alabama now sitting at 23-5 on the year, 12-3 in the league, with Florida's loss all alone for second place in the league race with 3 games to go, 2 behind Auburn with a matchup with the Tigers still to come in the regular season finale. Post-game in a moment on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Convenience is the name of the game at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Tuscaloosa University. Located on Veterans Memorial Parkway, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Tuscaloosa University offers just the right amenities for a relaxing getaway or a productive business trip. The University of Alabama, Bryant-Denny Stadium, Coleman Coliseum, and the Bryan Conference Center are within 2 miles, making any visit to the Capstone convenient. Whatever you're visiting Tuscaloosa for, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Tuscaloosa University is the perfect hotel destination and a proud preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide.
Coleman Coliseum gives the Tide a big home court advantage. When it comes to your home, count on Tri-Green Equipment to give you a big advantage with our lineup of John Deere equipment and tried and true expertise. We'll help you call the right plays on your property, and we're always there when you need an assist. From riding mowers, compact utility tractors, gators to agriculture equipment, we've got serious game. Stop by one of our locations or visit TriGreenEquipment.com. Proud sponsors of Alabama Crimson Tide basketball.
Sports bring us together. The sickness can keep us apart. Don't miss out on what matters most.
Vaccines help keep you in the stands while we are on the court.
Staying up to date on your vaccines, including for respiratory viruses, keeps you in the game, protecting yourself and those around you. Be here, be healthy.
Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM for more information.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, let's go places. Get $1,750 in bonus lease cash on a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5. Offer valid through March 3rd, 2025. Offer entitles $1,750 bonus lease cash on the lease of a new and untitled 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 gas vehicle. Bonus cash may be used only toward down payment or capitalized cost reduction on the new vehicle. See dealer for details.
At Red Diamond, we know that there's simply nothing better than the perfect sip of fresh brewed iced tea. And we've been working hard to make sure choosing Red Diamond is always easy. With only simple ingredients, water, tea leaves, and pure cane sugar. Or no sugar. We make sure our tea tastes like, well, tea. Stop by your local cooler and pick up a gallon for a perfect sip today. Red Diamond. Perfect's not easy.
Hey, Alabama, celebrate with JMF Solutions. With nearly 2 decades of innovation, JMF proudly announces its $6.3 million award for Alabama's middle mile broadband projects. But wait, there's more. Introducing Prestige HealthNet, revolutionizing hospital IT services. Prestige brings professional solutions to rural hospitals, saving costs and elevating healthcare standards. Visit PrestigeHealthNet.com or call 251-517-4411 to learn more. JMF Solutions and Prestige HealthNet, building a brighter future for Alabama together.
Welcome to the Regions Postgame Show on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Get your University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today.
Final score in Tuscaloosa, it's Alabama 111, Mississippi State 73. Roger Hoover, glad to welcome you to the Regions Postgame Show. Get your University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today. Alabama picking up the win again, 111-73. Once again, fantastic performance by Chris Youngblood against Mississippi State. As the Tuscaloosa native had 27 points, he knocked down 7 3-pointers in this victory for Alabama. Texaco, star of the game, unbeatable shots, unbeatable plays, and the unbeatable mileage with Texaco with Techron. Bryan Passink, we only get to play Mississippi State twice, so we know we could see him again. You never know in the SEC tournament, NCAA tournament, and if we do, I feel good about number 8 against the Bulldogs.
Chris Youngblood wants to schedule Mississippi State at least a couple more times. Listen, you never know what's going to happen in the SEC tournament. You don't know what's going to happen in the NCAA tournament, and that's one thing that is hard to believe. Alabama dismantled a really good Mississippi State team that's going to be in the NCAA tournament with a chance to advance in it. So this was not Alabama playing well against a team who's not very good. Mississippi State is very good. And Alabama, when they play their best and get it done on the defensive end, move the ball, take care of the ball, they are as good as anybody in college basketball, and they look like it here tonight.
Certainly did, as Alabama picks up the 111-73 win here in Tuscaloosa. You know, making Evan Williams bourbon part of your game day traditions and, of course, game-winning celebrations, that's a slam dunk. Visit evanwilliams.com to find a bottle near you. Evan Williams, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky. 43 to 45% alcohol by volume. Think wisely, drink wisely, and roll Tide. Again, the final score, Alabama 111, Mississippi State 73. We'll be back with more of the region's postgame show next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Your moment has arrived. It's time to shed the normal day-to-day version of yourself and let your most fabulous self loose. Make your way to Wind Creek Wetumpka, because whatever your idea of fabulous is, this is where you'll find it. Wind Creek Wetumpka. It's your kind of fabulous. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the University Student Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryan Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
Nobody beats me, Mark Sears, on the court, and nobody beats Cook's Pest Control when it comes to superior protection against unwanted pests and termites. Cook's knowledgeable and courteous technicians are expertly trained to get the job done right. Guaranteed. Call Cooks today for your free quote or to schedule a free on-site inspection. Roll Tide.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
When it comes to land care, you need equipment that's a slam dunk every time. At Tri Green Equipment, we provide the tried and true support you need for your John Deere gear. Just like the Alabama Crimson Tide, we're always ready to assist you in making those game-winning plays. Visit us today and experience the unbeatable support that keeps you in the game. Tri Green Equipment, proud sponsor of Crimson Tide basketball.
Howard's Victory Grill. The weather outside is cooler, and that means it is chili season at Baumhauer's. Their signature BB's homemade chili is packed with plenty of flavor, love, hearty beef tips, a splash of draft beer, and topped off with their fresh hand-cut toppings. And don't forget about their new chili cheese nachos, chili cheese potato stack, and loaded chili cheese fries. Baumhauer's, legendary food and legendary fun. Crimson Tide winning tonight against Mississippi State, 111-73 the final score. Let's take a look at our turning point of the game. It's presented by Payless Drugs. Payless Drugs, your locally owned family pharmacy with 5 locations in the Birmingham area. Payless can handle your prescriptions, over-the-counter solutions, and home delivery. Visit mynewpharmacy.com to pay less. Brian Passink, what was the turning point tonight?
I thought Alabama came out with a sense of urgency, had a great start. That's not something we've seen in recent games. Alabama was down double digits in each of their last 3 games, but that wasn't the case. Was up double digits early in this one. I thought really set the tone on the defensive end. Did a great job against Josh Hubbard. He had 38 points in the first game in Starkville, and even though he ended up with 21, the majority of those were in garbage time. The game was well in hand. Alabama did a great job against Mississippi State's best player. The defensive performance was great from the start. Ball movement was terrific. Alabama ends up with 28 assists, just 11 turnovers, and found open shooters. Mark Sears, a great night, 21 points, 10 assists, and of course Chris Youngblood, the Mississippi State Bulldog killer, with 27 points. Mo Diabate with a double-double. When you beat a ranked team 111-73, there's a lot of stars in this game, and I thought everybody came in and played well, played with toughness, a sense of urgency, and that's the type of basketball you love to see late in the year, and Alabama put together one of its most complete performances of the season here tonight.
Well, as we talked about, this just begins this final 2-week stretch to close out the regular season. Up next at Tennessee, home against Florida, then at Auburn to close it out. Just quickly, your thoughts on the matchup Saturday in Knoxville?
Well, it's a tough one. It's a tough place to play, a tough physical Tennessee team that is not easy to beat anywhere, but especially at Thompson Bowling Arena. Alabama's going to have to be ready to play, and I think the physicality of Mississippi State hopefully will prepare Alabama for Tennessee. Now, Tennessee, a much better defensive team, maybe the best defensive team in the country. Alabama's going to have to be ready to go, take care of the ball. This stretch is like nothing we've ever seen to end a regular season in college basketball. You go to number 5 Tennessee, you welcome in currently number 2 Florida on Wednesday night, and then finish the regular season at number 1 Auburn. We're going to see where this team is, and Alabama with an incredibly tough stretch, but if they play like they did tonight, they're going to have a chance in each of those 3 games. Hopefully, Alabama will continue to play well going into the home stretch, into the SEC and NCAA tournament.
Bryan, safe travels. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
That's Bryan Passink. I'm Roger Hoover. When we come back, you'll hear some scores from Tom Stipe. We'll take a final look at the Alabama Power Scoreboard update, and still to come, Chris Stewart's postgame conversation with the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Nate Oates. Once again, tonight's final score, Alabama 111, Mississippi State 73. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Lear.